So very good evening to you and a warm welcome to day 3 finals here at the Aberdeen Sports Village, the Scottish National Age Group Championships. So we're going to have a very exciting evening of swimming, I am sure. I'm Duncan McKinnell and I'll be taking you through the action, and I'm delighted to have Olympian and Olympic coach Gary van der Merlen sitting beside me in the commentary box. So very good evening, Gary. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to this. It's very exciting.
So Gary, Seoul Olympics?
Yeah, a long time ago, 1988.
Oh, it's just a blink of an eye, isn't it? What's
Yeah.
that, 36 years ago? Wow.
Your math is better than mine. Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, that must have been some experience.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was really unbelievable. It was something that I looked forward to my whole life.
Yep, so that was for Canada. What was your events?
I swam the 400 free, and then I swam the 4x200 free relay.
Excellent stuff. So we've got the very best to give us guidance on what's going on in the pool today. See a very stylish Cumbernauld team there, and here's what's coming up for you. So we start off with 200 backstroke. We run through from youngest to oldest. So we've got in the youngest age group, Khan Akka looking to add to his medal tally. Then Nikolai Sisda, who will hopefully have recovered from his 1500 this afternoon. Finley Bruce, who's been in there about in the 15s, and others. So it's going to be a good battle, I think, between Callum Peebles and Lucas Brown in the 17 to 18s. So that's what's up first. Then for the females, we go to the 400 freestyle. It's just the older age groups. The younger age groups swam heat declared winner in that one this afternoon. Got Susie McNair of Stirling Swimming going in the oldest age group, because you'll know her well with your involvement with Stirling Swimming, Gary.
Yeah, that's right. Susie's just back from the Olympic trials, where she had a very wonderful 400 IM, where she placed 4th. Yeah. So she's a very good distance athlete. So we're looking forward to her 400 free.
So that's the 400. Then we got the 50 frees, so that's going to be exciting. Again, it's the youngest swimmer's not in that, but we go from 14 upwards in the 50 freestyle. There's going to be some very fast swims there. Looking forward to seeing in the boys' race one, Harry Sharp and Jensen Norris. I think that's going to be a tight one. Then Lucas Brown is back again. Alfie Price has been smashing it up, the Orcadian, in the 15-year-old age group, so that's going to be good. And 50 free for the women, 100 breaststroke for the men, and open 200 butterfly, and we finish off with a mixed relay. But we're straight into this first final, so you can see the names coming up on the screen. Just run through them. 9 was Thomas Vakulitz of Hearts. Brogan Smith, the Glenrothes is in 8. Samuel Ruff, medalist this afternoon, goes for City of Glasgow in lane 7. Julian Okrosh of Delting in 6. Daniel Letham of Cumbernauld in 5. Khan Akka, we talked about Hamilton Aquatics in 4. Charlie Braid, gold medalist this afternoon in the 1500. He goes for Ren 96 in 3. Andrew Lewis, Step Rocket 2. Oren McLeod of first in 1. And Ross Winters for East Lothian in 0. So Khan Akka with the fastest heat time, 2:26.08, goes in lane 4. Be interesting to see whether Charlie Braid has recovered from his 1500 exertions. He's had, I suppose, couple of hours maybe. Well, not even.
I would say he had at least that, but distance swimmers tend to recover quickly because they're so aerobically fit. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how he goes. But Khan Akka 2:26 is some 5 seconds faster than anybody else on paper. And of course, evidenced by what they swam this afternoon. So away we go with day 3 finals. And it's a good start in the lane 4 from Khan Akka.
That's quite an underwater dolphin kick that young man has. He went a full 15 meters underwater and got almost a whole body length lead off of the rest of the competitors. That's quite impressive at 13 years old. That must be something that he's been working on. I'll have a look to see what sort of underwater work he's been doing on his turns. His start was 15 meters. It's looking pretty good. He's still underwater, so he's coming up 10 meters. It's a tough race to hold your breath that long. So
So with these youngsters, what would you be expecting in your expectations in the starts and turns around the underwater work? Would you expect them to be able to go that far?
Well, that would be what they're working towards, and so it would be unusual for swimmers that are, you know, younger than 18 years old to be able to go full 15 meters. So any swimmers that are anywhere close to that are, you know, well ahead of the game.
So 1:10.36 at halfway. That is about half a second faster than he was in the heat, and he's certainly looking good for this one. He's nearly 2 seconds up on Daniel Lethem. Charlie Braid's going pretty well. He's in a third spot at the moment in lane 3. So
Yes, Daniel didn't split too much slower than the swimmer in lane 4. That 37 versus 36.9. But he's holding his position. He's got a 2 body length lead on the rest of the field.
So up to the 150 turn, and Khan there 1:47.61. He's now 2 seconds faster than he was this afternoon. So he came into this meet on a 2:26. He matched that, in fact, slight improvement on that in the heats, but I think he's going to be well inside that here, and certainly going to be a pretty emphatic win. Second place is Daniel Lethem. He's clear in second. So the swimmer from Cumbernauld. And third place, Charlie Braid. That's looking set for the medals. And it's a masterclass from Khan, not a Scot, of course. So the Scottish champion will be the swimmer coming in behind him, Daniel Lethem. But 2:23.84. He has to be happy with that.
Well, Aquatic looked pretty happy with that. He was smashing his hand on the water, so that must be a nice PB for him. Either way, he was really happy or really upset with that swim. But 3 seconds under his PB from, you know, his entry time, that's a substantial drop in time.
Yeah, I put my money on the happy bit, not the not the cross bit.
Well, if he missed a record by like 0.01 or something like
maybe.
that. But
what is the Dubai record? Do we know?
Yeah, I don't know. That's not a record that I have easily at hand. But you know, the coaches out there, one of the coaches, Catherine Johnson, she swam for Scotland at the Commonwealth Games, and she's doing an amazing job with the swimmers there.
Unfortunately, we have a disqualification there. Brogan Smith, a disqualification for a technical infraction, so that's unfortunate for him, the Glenrothes swimmer. But he will come again in other events, particularly breaststroke, where he's already won golds.
Well, I didn't see what he did for an infraction, but he certainly didn't go past 15 meters on any of the underwater work.
Apparently he didn't finish, and we should have noticed that, but hey-ho, when you focus on the leading swimmers. So I think we are done with that one, and we are waiting the 14-year-olds to make their way up. And again, we've got the swimmer who swam the 1500 going in lane 4 in this one. Here they come.
Is that Nikolai? Did he swim the 1500?
He did, yep, 1 gold in that. So there's the lineup coming out for their race. And the lineup then, Luke Thompson of Bathgate will go in lane 9. In lane 8, it's Logan Wright from University of Aberdeen Performance. In lane 7, Adam Selby of Finns. In lane 6, Guy Calbunchai going for University of Aberdeen Performance. In 5, Angus Woods, he's having a great meet with Kintyre swimmer from Campbelltown. And there's Nikolai Cisnet, City of Glasgow, going in lane 4. Blake Herbman of Inverclyde in lane 3. Luke Jackson from Hamilton Aquatics in lane 2. Logan Moffat of Bells Hill in 1. And Alexander Brown, also a medalist in the 1500. He goes for Anik in lane 0. So the times in this one, fastest was Nikolai Cisner in the heats, 2:18 up to 2:31. Luke Thompson there sneaking in lane 9.
Well, it looks like Nikolai is a bit of a class of his own in this, with a 6-second lead going into the final, so I would expect to see something similar from him. He's an outstanding swimmer with nice, smooth technique.
Yeah, I think he might be quite a bit faster than that, because he's entered onto this on a 2:11, so
this morning maybe it was a little bit easier to getting ready for his 1500.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened there. So there's a wee tip there that Alexander Brown is actually Sandy Brown, based on his cap there. It's a beautiful shot, but look at that start from Nikolai there. What a lead, just halfway down the pool.
Full body length after 25 meters, that's impressive. And a really nice smooth swimmer, holding a lot of water. His tempo isn't particularly fast, which really shows that he's holding a lot of water.
So it was a 31.8 for his first split in the heat, so he will be faster than that, 31.3. Already a second and a half up on Adam Selby in second. It's pretty tight for second and third. Angus Woods just 500ths behind Adam Selby.
Well, that's a tight race for second place in lane 8. Is that lane 7? Lane 7 is...
Yeah, lane 7 and lane 5. And also lane 3 is Blake Herbman. He's not far away. But really, they are just contesting for silver and bronze here because Nikolai, he was a 107 earlier, so well inside that, 105.
Well, pretty much dead even for second place with Angus Woods and Adam Selby both going through in a 9-0. It's going to be close for second place, and it's very close for third place too. So the silver medal and bronze medals are going to be a tight race. But it looks like Nikolai is, he's got a huge lead.
Yeah, so this will be gold medal number 5, assuming that he successfully completes his final 50, going through 1:40.57. So that now is 4 seconds faster than he was earlier on, and I think he will be continuing to push it pretty hard down this last length.
His PB's 2:11, so I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, but he's going to be very, very fast compared to the rest of the swimmers in this.
Yeah, a lot of the entry times are converted short course times, so it's one thing to do it short course, and another thing to do it long.
Yep.
This is going to be an excellent swim, a lot faster than he was this afternoon, 2:15.83. He takes the win. Now, this race for second, well, it was a good second half from Angus Woods, and Blake Herbman coming in for third. Adam Selby just finding that pace too hot to handle, I think, in the latter stages.
Yeah, Adam's last 50 was a 39, so he really dropped off. But the silver and bronze medals, so they finished very, very well.
Yeah, so another gold medal goes into the Cisnet collection. Must be a fairly stashed medal cupboard now.
I think he has got a good collection at home. I would imagine he's filling up at least one wall, if not two, with medals.
So on to the 15-year-olds now. They're just waiting to come out to the blocks. This one, I think, will be closer.
2 Glasgow swimmers, 2 Carnegie swimmers, 2 Perth swimmers. It's well represented, those teams, in all the events.
And here they come. Yep, City of Glasgow. We know Dan.
That's Daniel. He's letting us know where he's from.
So the lineup then in lane 9, it is Struan Payton of University of Aberdeen Performance. In lane 8, it's Fergus Reid of Geary. In lane 7, it's Conan Sweeney of Gateshead and Wickham. In lane 6, from Perth City, it's Callum McKenzie. Warrender swimmer Aaron Drake goes in lane 5. 4 is Perth City's Finlay Bruce. Tyler Spalding goes for Carnegie in lane 3. Kyle Mossman of City of Glasgow in lane 2. James Kilpatrick of Carnegie in 1. Nice to see him in the final. He was ill yesterday, so hopefully is going to be able to do his best later on. And lane 0, City of Glasgow, that was Danny, who was proud to show us where he's from. Daniel Hendry in lane 0. But Finlay Bruce, fastest qualifier for this one. He's already got 2 gold medals, including the 100 back. Was in an epic battle in the 400 free against Connor Aspinall last night. He'll be looking to make it gold medal number 3 here for Perth. So into the water they go. Of course, these ledges weren't around in your day as a swimmer, Gary. They must help quite a bit, though.
No, definitely. quite a few people would slip on the start, and basically their race was over right at the beginning. So this is a big help to swimmers so they don't slip down the wall with their feet, because the touch pads do get a little bit worn and slippery over time.
So off they go, and it does look like Finley Bruce is just easing into a narrow lead, but well, we thought this one would be closer than the last one, and certainly that's how it's shaping up at the moment.
Finley with a nice fast tempo going through on the first 50, 30.9. That's a very good split for Finley. What was his 100 time? He's looking very strong. Perth swimmer, coached by Ann Dixon.
Yeah, he's got about a body length advantage here, and it is Aaron Drake in second place, a body length behind him. And then these two now have opened up a fair old gap. It's going to be a really good contest for third. It looks like we'll see at the turn who touches third. Tyler Spalding does by half a second, but it's Bruce and Drake 1 and 2. I said this was going to be close. I think I'm going to have to eat my words here.
It looks like Finley's got a bone to pick with everybody from a close race yesterday in the 400. He wants to win this. He's starting to tie up a little bit, but we'll see what he looks like after 150 meters. He's certainly looking strong with a splitting 33 on his third 50. Still a fast tempo.
Yeah, so 2:14 is time in the heat. Surely he's going to be well inside that based on that 150 time.
It looks like he's on his way to a personal best. So
yeah, Tyler Spalding is looking good for third place. And no doubt about the winner here, Finley Bruce, completely dominant. Came into the speed on a 2:14. He replicated that in the heats and takes it down to 2:09 in the final. Here comes Aaron Drake for the silver. 2:14.42 for him. So he came in on a 2:15.6, so he improves as well. And Tyler Spalding takes a bronze for Carnegie, the Dunfermline-based team.
That was a great swim for Finley Bruce. I'm sure he's really glad to see 2:09.9 come up on the board. It's a nice milestone, going under 2:10 for 200 backstroke at 15 years old. That's very good.
So do these milestones, is that really important for the swimmers? I think it must be, isn't it? Right, you set yourself a target, I suppose, around these numbers.
Yeah, it always is. Is there something, slightly satisfying about just being under, the 0.0, in any sort of connotations, whether it's a minute 0.0 and you go a 59.9 or a 2:10, you manage to go, 2:09.9. It's just something satisfying about seeing that.
So we got the medalist. I think you might know the person making these presentations.
There's Alison Shepherd, a 5-time Olympic swimmer.
That is just an amazing record. That is still the Scottish record holder in 50 freestyle. So the bronze medalist Charlie Braid in the 13 age group, Blake Herbman in the 14 age group, so Ren 96 and Inverclyde respectively. Now the silver medalist, so Daniel Lethem there in that vivid pink of Cumbernauld in the 13 age group, and the Kintyre swimmer Angus Woods continuing a very successful meet. He looks pretty happy with his efforts.
He certainly does.
There are your gold medalists, Khan Acker for Hamilton Aquatics. Nice sort of smile. When he got his 1500 gold, Nikolai was just sort of quietly happy, and I think it's similar here. No great grins, no wild celebrations. And of course we have a national champion, because Khan's not Scottish, so Daniel Lethem is the Scottish national champion in the 13 age group, so he gets 2 medals for the price of 1. And there we go, you can see there, Nikolai, a big lad, and he is picking up another medal there. And we'll be going back very shortly to swimming. Next up we have the 16-year-old 200 backstroke.
Yes, here we go with the amazing Dean Fern, who's been swimming amazing this week and swam very, very well at the Olympic trials as a youngster.
So here they come out. We expect to see Dean at European Juniors, I would think, in the summer. And there's swimmers coming out to do battle in the 200 backstroke. So the lineup in lane 9 is Freddie Walker of Cheltenham, Oscar Churnside of Geary, winner in the 1500 this morning rather, goes in 8. Ishmael Shalabi of East Lothian in 7. Corey Phillip of Dundee City Aquatics in 6. Kanish Chakraborty of Hamilton Aquatics in 5. Then we've got Dean Fern of Aberdeen Dolphin in lane 4. Harry Sharp of Warrender in 3. Jacob Light of Morpeth in lane 2. Finley Geddes of Lerwick in lane 1. And Adam Prusek from Aberdeen Dolphin in lane 0. So Dean Fern at 2:08 in the heats. He is the Scottish Junior record holder. That was set last week in London, 2:02.12. I think it's a big ask for him to do that again just a week later.
Well, he's been swimming on form. He was 23.9 in his 50 fly, setting a record, and his underwater work is phenomenal. He's a very good start and turn swimmer.
Is it easier to keep that pace going from week to week in the 50s compared with the 200?
Well, it really depends on the swimmer, but certainly there's not very much room for error in a sprint. And in the 200s, there's a lot more room for error. You know, anything goes a little bit awry, a little bit, a little too far away on a turn or a little too close on a turn. It might, change your time by up to a second. But Dean's looking pretty smooth and fast on this first 50.
So he was 29.3 for his first 50 split this morning. So just a bit faster than that, 29.0. So 3/10 up. Kanish Chakraborty turning second, Harry Sharp third. It does look like the race is going to be for silver and bronze here because, well, as we've seen in quite a lot of these 200 backstrokes, we've got one clear leader.
Yes, Dean's definitely showing his form on this second length. He's 29 going out, and it looks like he's going to go through at about 101. A minute 0.6. That's and a 60 or 31 on that 50.
Yeah, so I don't think we are on 2:02 pacing here, but we're not going to be far away. He's certainly going to be faster, I think, than he was in the heats, and looking strong. I know the backstrokers were talking about the roof at London and how difficult it was. Obviously, it didn't put Dean off last week, but I guess the roof here is a lot easier to cope with nice straight lines.
Yes, absolutely. Straight lines are preferred by backstrokers, and it's one of the reasons why the Olympics is no longer held in an outdoor pool, is so that backstrokers can see what they're doing. Because if it's bright sunshine, you really can't see too much. You're just squinting, and it's a real disadvantage not to swim in a straight line. There's a few pools in the world that have been known for their wonky roofs, but this doesn't seem to be affecting Dean today. He's got a nice straight lines. 2:05. It's a solid swim.
Yeah, that's very impressive. I think that's gold medal number 4 for Dean. Kanish Chakraborty picks up another medal for the Hamilton Aquatic swimmer, and Harry Sharp, best known as a 50 sprinter, a freestyle sprinter, but he takes bronze in 200 backstrokes, so that's something new, I think, for Harry there, and he'll be happy with that, I think. 2:12.75. Let's see what his entry time was for Harry Sharp. It was a 2:17, so
5 seconds drop is a huge improvement.
Yeah.
The Warrender Club is known for having their swimmers swim everything, so he seems to be following that common practice.
So here come the 17, 18-year-olds out to poolside, looking cool. Nothing is going to phase them.
The 18-year-olds are a very cool and collected bunch.
Been there, done it. Jack Simpson, South Lanarkshire in lane 9. Tom Armitage of Highland in 8. Ethan Stewart of South Lanarkshire in 7, Edward Bell of Seagulls in 6, Lucas Brown of Stirling University in 5. In lane 4 is East Lothian of Callum Peebles. Jack Doherty-Simpson for City of Glasgow in lane 3. Midlothian's Finley Davies goes for in lane 2. Logan van der Merlen of Stirling Swimming in lane 1. And Kyle Mitchell of Geary in lane 0. So 2:10, Callum Peebles the fastest edge time. I think Lucas Brown will give him a good run for his money here. This one, I think, well, I've said before that some of the races might be tight. I'm putting my money on that this one will be tight, but, well, I might be losing my money. We'll wait and see.
Well, these 200 backstrokers, we've seen some outstanding first place finishes from Dean Fern and the Finley Bruce and Nikolai Sisnant. All those swimmers, amazing swims. So we'll see what the oldest swimmers have got.
So let's see how this one works out. Would you expect them to go a bit further underwater there at this age?
They're 12 meters, which is pretty good. It's a little bit difficult to get exactly 15 meters, and you don't want to risk getting disqualified by going, slightly past 15 meters. Plus, if you're holding your breath for the first, part of the race, it's definitely going to hurt you at the very end. So you're better off to be a bit more cautious at the beginning and then pull your underwater cards out later for the end of the race.
So Lucas Brown with a couple of tenths advantage at the 50. Very good start down at the bottom of your screen. That is Geary's Kyle Mitchell. He's doing his best to stay with them. And then in lanes 2 and 3, Finley Davis in the green cap and Jack Doherty-Simpson in the dark blue. But it does look like it's going to be Lucas and Callum deciding this. They're about a body length up on the others, and, well, just a tenth between them at halfway. 101s. 101.5, 101.6. Jack Doherty-Simpson just a tenth ahead of Finley Davis as well. You see those two, blue and green caps. Well, who's going to get this one? This is going to go all the distance, I think.
This is a very tight race for first place. We'll see what these swimmers got. Looks like Logan Vandermeulen is trying to negative split his swim. He's coming from behind.
Yeah, he's having a good season as well, and he is moving up. But it's Callum Peebles who's now got a couple of tenths advantage, looking for his first gold of these championships. Jack Doherty-Simpson had a good third length there, but also still Finley Davis right up with him. And Lucas Brown is not done yet in lane 5, but it is Callum Peebles who's got maybe half a meter's advantage. The swimmers in lanes 2 and 3 are moving up as well, though. So we've got a 4-way contest for 3 medals here. Is Callum Peebles going to hold on to take this one? I think he is. He's about a meter up as they come into the wall. What a good race, 2:08.19. So he takes the win. Lucas Brown in second, and Jack Doherty-Simpson just getting in ahead of the Midlothian swimmer to take third. Finley Davis just has to settle for 4th place.
It's a tight race, a tight finish. Just over 1 second separating first to 4th place is a very close race. But I think if Dean Fern had been in that race, he would have been winning that. He won with, what was he, 205?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so they're in the 16-year-old category. So these the 17-year-olds in this race will look forward to seeing Dean in the 17, 18-year-old final next year.
Yeah, with trepidation, I would think. Of course, the 18-year-olds there in their last championships in this event, but.
Yeah, they're going to be moving on in
the joys of senior swimming coming up for them. But here are the medalists, starting with the 15-year-old. The bronze medalist is Tyler Spaulding.
And the lovely Alison Shepherd handing out the medals again.
Yeah, you have to say that, don't you?
All right, yeah. It's in the contract.
Harry Sharp then looked very pleased there, as he should be with that big PB. Bronze medalist in the 60 age group. Also getting a big cheer from the Warrender contingent in the crowd there. The silver medalist Aaron Drake in the 15s, and there is Kanish Chakraborty taking silver in the 16 age group. Then your gold medalist and national champions, Finley Bruce of Perth City for the 15-year-olds, and there is Dean Fern. So that 2:05, fastest we saw, is the 16-year-old champion, and here come the 17, 18-year-olds. They've just got time to get themselves sorted, and that's Jack Doherty Simpson of City of Glasgow taking the bronze. The silver medalist in the 17-18s, Lucas Brown of University of Stirling. And the gold medalist, his first gold medal of these championships, is East Lothian's Callum Peebles. So East Lothian having a mighty battle with South Lanarkshire for third spot in the team championships, so that will be good points for them. Photo time.
That was a very solid performance from all the Scottish and visiting swimmers in the 200 backstroke. It's a very tough race. It's really hard on your legs on the last 50.
So of the 200s, which is the toughest? I mean, normally people say 200 fly would be the toughest. Would you subscribe to that? Or
Well, the breaststroke lasts longer, so
more pain for longer.
It is painful for a little bit longer, but butterfly is a tough race. You know, you're bringing your head, your shoulders, and both arms out the water on every stroke, so your balance changes every single time that you take a stroke.
So we have the 400 freestyle females out to the pool now, and we have in lane 9 Elena Sanderson from Perth City. In lane 8, Lexi Lamont of Aberdeen. In lane 7, Ella Cunningham of City of Glasgow. In lane 6, Olivia Caldwell, also City of Glasgow. In lane 5, it's Lucy Hunter of South Lanarkshire. In lane 4 is Evie Mackey of South Lanarkshire. Lane 3, Emmy Aitken, University of Aberdeen Performance. In lane 2, it's East Lothian's Lucy Hall. Lane 1, Ava Ross from City of Glasgow. And East Lothian's Kate Nolan goes in lane 0. So the fastest qualifier for this one, Evie Mackey, having a sensational week so far, particularly in the longer events. So she has been pretty much untouchable in these sort of longer events, and so you think she is a pretty strong favourite here. Gold in the 1500, gold in the 400 IM. So off we go. 4:36 was Evie's time this morning. Lucy Hunter 4:42, Emmy Aitken 4:44. Top 3 from the heats.
It looks like Evie is going to take it out, and she's going with a really strong tempo for a 400 with a big 6-speed kick. So she's doing a brave swim by taking this out fast. 30.4 is a good split for her. Going out in a 400 free, although 31, 31, 31 for the next 3 swimmers is really close race for silver. So this should be interesting to see who can hold this pace.
Yeah, she's certainly out very well indeed. Because these swimmers last year, as 14-year-olds, would have just swum it once. Now they've got to swim it twice. Is that a big ask for the swimmers? They perhaps won't have done 400 heats and finals before.
Well, I would say that most of the time the swimmers that are, in the middle of the pool would have only been swimming just to qualify, where they wouldn't really show all their cards in the heats, and they would save themselves for the finals. For the younger swimmers, the would have, they knew that their morning swim was the only swim they're going to get, so they would have gone for it in the morning. So, the second time that they've swum this, certainly for the swimmers in the middle of the pool, this will be their only time that they swim it at maximum capacity for the day.
So 150, 138.9. So pushing on well, around about 2 meters maybe. ahead of a good solid swim in lane 3 from Emmy Aitken. She trains in Dubai but swims when she comes to Scotland with the University of Aberdeen, as does her sister Tia. And she is hanging in there, not far away. In fact, she's made some ground, I think, in that last 15.
Yeah, she looks like she's challenging her. She's not letting her go. She's keeping her eye on her feet, so she's staying in touch. And as long as you can see a swimmer's feet, you know that they're within striking distance. But I think maybe Evie Mackey might be noticing her now because she's breathing always too. Oh no, she breathes on both sides, so I take that back. But she's, you know, she's going to be noticing her if she's close by. She's not shaking her though, so this is gonna be interesting. That's the 250-meter mark, so 150 meters to go. But Evie Mackey's turns are definitely better than Emma Aitken. She's gaining at least a meter, if not 2 meters, off every wall.
Yeah, that's nice to see. There's a great race going on for third as well there in lanes 5 and 6. That's Lucy Hunter and Olivia Caldwell. So they will be very aware of each other, you could be sure. But this is looking good for Evie now as they come up to 300. I think she is definitely opening up the gap. Let's see what the difference is between them now. You see half a second picked up there, and it's over 2 seconds the gap now. So it's looking like Evie Mackey will be taking gold medal number 3 here. She comes down the final 100. Still that race on for third there on the left-hand side of your screen. Maybe just Lucy Hunter from Olivia Colwyn. Perhaps she's just starting to get away from Olivia now. But let's focus on Evie. So talk us through this turn, Gary. What are you seeing?
Well, the last turn is going to be the now you're just looking at the home stretch. So now it's going to be everything you got after this turn. So a lot of swimmers wait for that last turn before they really turn their legs on and go for it. But I'm really impressed with Emma Aitken. She's really making this into a good race. If her turns were better, it would be neck and neck. But it looks like she's, this is going to be close on the finish.
Yeah, as they come into the final 5, this is a lot closer than it looked like it was going to be. So Evie was up by 2 seconds at 300, but at the end it's only 7/10 the gap. So terrific 32-1 from Emmy Aitken. A well-deserved silver medal for her, but it's Evie Mackey who will take the gold in a 4:30.61. So her time in the heats was 4:36, so that's a nice improvement. 4:30.46 was her entry time, so right on that time there, and a nice little smile and a thumbs up there to confirm. And there you have it, with Lucy Hunter winning that battle for the bronze. So it's Mackey, Aitken and Hunter is your 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that was a very good swim by all those swimmers. That third place battle was interesting and really surprising how well the Emma Aitken came back in the last 50. 32 is a solid 400 finish.
Gutsy stuff.
The future is looking good for her.
Yep.
I think her coach is going to have to look at her turns though.
So we have just the 8 swimmers in the 16-year-old final. Kristen Mackay for Finns in 8. There's Molly Weir of West Lothian in 7. Kiana Kurtzer of Warren de Bass in 6. Coco Croxford of South Lanarkshire in lane 5. Phoebe Arbuckle of Warren de Bass in 4. 3 is Alice Perry of Warren de Bass, so strong Warrender contingent in this final. Cumbernaulds Irene Ferris goes in lane 2. And Western Bartonshire's Sophie Allison in lane 1. So Phoebe Arbuckle, very strong distance freestyler. You would think would be the favourite here. Just has the 1 gold medal, but it was the 1500, silver in the 200 free. Oh, sorry, that was the 100 free, my apologies.
Yeah. All these girls would have known that they were guaranteed to make the final with only 8 swimmers. I think there was 10 in the heats. But so they all knew they were guaranteed a second swim. So some of them might have swam very easy. So this race could be all over the place.
So in fact, no swimmer in lane 2 either. So we're down to 7. So Phoebe O'Buckle and Coco Croxford have certainly been fairly dominant swimmers in this age group. Coco with a win in the 400 IM and silver in the 1500 free behind Phoebe. Let's see whether she can reverse that here in the 400, but it is Phoebe who's out strongly in lane 4. In fact, all the Warrender swimmers going well here. Headed by Phoebe Arbuckle, 30.4. Alice Perry, and then it's Sophie Allison in lane 1 down at the bottom of your screen there. Western Barthshire swimmer just fractionally ahead of Kiana Kurtzer. Coco Croxford hanging back a little bit at the moment in the blue cap in lane 5. So different ways to swim a 400 in terms of going out hard or holding until the second half.
The 1500, 800 type of swimmers in the 400 tend to be more even split. So if they're coming from the distance races down, they tend to be more of an even split type swimmer, whereas the 100, 200 swimmers swimming up to the 400 will tend to take it out faster. However, you can swim a race any way that you want. You know, whether it works or not, whether it works or not will be the question. So, and sometimes when you get into a race scenario, you don't want somebody to be, you know, at your heels the whole time, like in the last 400. You want to just shake off the competition so you can just swim your own race and not worry about somebody chasing you down, because being hunted is a lot less fun than hunting.
Yeah. Well, Phoebe O'Buckle, I don't think is going to be either of them. She's way out, and I can't see anyone hunting her down at this point. Here she goes, another swimmer who had a very successful time in London last week. 2:11.39 for her, so 33.8 for that last 50. Just compare that, and you see 35s. Coco Croxford is picking it up now, just edging into second place, ahead of the other two Warrender swimmers. So Alice Perry will be looking to try and get her first podium spot, other than in relays. And in lane 6, Kiana Kurtzer.
It looks like Phoebe's the class of the field here. So her split 33 on the last 50 was a full second faster than the other swimmer. She's slowed down a little bit, 34.2, but still a decent split. The Coco's coming back on the field with a 35.5.
Yeah, so that's where the contest is, and it does look like Coco is just gradually asserting herself in second place, but you can see she's just going past the halfway markers as Phoebe went through the 15-meter markers, so quite a gap, 10 meters or so, and that will only increase, I think, in the final 100, 3:19.57, so again around the 34. Yeah.
It looks like Phoebe is using a strategy where she comes off the walls with a 6-beat kick and then switches into a 2-beat kick. You can see you're only seeing her kick is a lot less than what she was taking it out in. So she's just doing a soft kick on these in the middle part of the pool, which is a normal strategy for a distance swimmer, to just ease off the legs a little bit.
So the distance swimmer coming down versus maybe the 200 swimmer going up, you'd see quite different foot
kicks.
Action.
Yeah, absolutely. So when she starts to pick up her legs, you'll see the difference. But she's got such a big lead, she can get away with a 2-beat kick here. Now that her only motivation will be whether she does a PB or not.
Yeah, probably wouldn't expect to do a PB a week after London. 4:22 was the time she did at the Edinburgh International in the B final there, so not quite at that time, but good solid swim. Not stopping the clock there, but it looked like it was about 4:27. I think that time will get adjusted. Coco Croxford, comfortable second in the end, 4:36 for her. And there is Alice Perry, so that will be a first medal for Alice, so congratulations to her. She came in on a 4:40, so knocks a second off that.
Yeah, I think Phoebe had a soft touch because that last split 35.9 is quite a bit slower than what she was holding. So I think you're right, she was probably like a 26 or 4:26 or 27, something like that. Oh, she's looking. She's like, that's not my time.
Yeah, well, let's hope that that does get fixed. I mean, they do have a system of comparing the backup time from the button that the judges press compared with the primary time from the pads, and if there is a big discrepancy, they will make a judgment call as to which one was right and go with the adjustment. So we're just, I think, waiting for that to happen here. Hasn't happened yet. We're looking at the scoreboard in the venue, and it's still showing 4:29.82. But I would expect that will get changed by a couple of seconds or so.
Well, what's your guess? What do you think she went?
I reckon maybe low 4:27.
All right, I'm going to go for 26.99.
Oh, that was a tactical move for you, Gary, there.
Yeah, so they've got the plungers, which the timers are holding in their hand. So when the timers see the swimmer touch the wall, they'll squeeze the plunger, and so that will be their backup. And sometimes what the 27.
Oh, I win.
27.13.
Yeah, there you go. 4:27.13. Phoebe Arbuckle, Coco Croxford second, and Alice Perry in third. So
yeah, great swim from Phoebe. She took that race out. She owned that race. She swam every length with confidence and had a great. It's hard to come back from something like the Olympic trials and then swim in a race where you're pretty much swimming it by yourself. When you're sort of at the Olympic trials when everybody's fast and you're in the middle of a race.
Yeah.
And that's what she did there was a very good swim.
So here is the finalists for the 17-18 age group. Maria Howe goes in lane 9 for University of Aberdeen Performance. Next to her is Alex Coy of Warrender Baths. In lane 7, Mia McLeod of West Lothian. Lane 6, Catherine Renfrew from Perth City. Lane 5, Tegan Black, the winner in the 400 IM last night for East Lothian. Then Susie McNair of Sterling Swimming in lane 4, fastest qualifier, 4:36. Georgia Dickey goes in lane 3, also a 4:36 for her. She goes for Dumfries. Rosie Forster of Warrender in lane 2. Jessica Heaps of Faulthouse Penguins in lane 1. And Naomi Wilson for Warrender in lane 0. So in this one, Georgia Dickey, the winner in the 1500. As I mentioned, Susie McNair, the fastest qualifier, gold in the 200 back the other day.
All these swimmers in the middle of the pool all did the same time in heats. A 4:36, lane 2, 3, 4, 5, and lane 6, all 4:36. So this should be interesting.
Yeah, this might be another one where the 16-year-old is faster than the 17, 18-year-olds after that time from Phoebe Arbuckle, but we'll see how these guys go.
Yeah, well, this is a race. This will be more interesting for the swimmers. It'll be more exciting to watch. But certainly Phoebe would fit in this race very easily.
So through the first turn, it's the East Lothian swimmer Tegan Black with a quarter of a second advantage. She's first, Catherine Renfrew second, Susie McNair third. Well, we're talking about early days here, and quite a lot could change, but we've got the beginnings of a arrowhead starting to form at the front.
Yeah, all those swimmers are, watching each other and they all deciding when they're going to play their cards, when they're going to start to go for a lead. It looks like lane 5, she's gonna go for it first. So Tegan Black taking it out, 103. But everybody, if you look at the splits, everybody was a 33, 33, 33, 33. So the first 4 swimmers all swimming about the same pace. And you can see that the turns are making a difference there.
So you talk back to your days as in the 400 freestyle. You talk about, do you change your tactics depending on what's going on around you, or do you say, right, I've got my tactics, I know what I want to do, and just stick with that?
Yeah, you would swim to the race. So if you're swimming against a swimmer that's going out fast, you might, think I'm going to go out with them, and then try to beat them on the back end because they might not have the same finishing speed as you. Or you would just play to your strengths, and if you know what the other swimmer is going to do, it'll make it a lot easier for you to use a strategy against them. But the top swimmers have got so many different skills that, you know, they can go out slow, they can go out fast, and you don't know what they're going to do. But somebody like Susie McNair, she's a 400 IM swimmer, so you know that she's going to have back end speed. So you'd be hard pressed to beat her on the last 50 of a 400 if you weren't close to her.
Yeah, so we talked earlier on about Susie's fantastic 400 IM in the British. She chose not to swim this one, 400 IM, this week. So is she deliberately going for other events than her primary events this week?
That's right. And as a 400 IM swimmer, you have to be good at everything. So she is swimming a little bit of everything, and she had such a great 400 IM that her and her coach decided, listen, we're just going to leave the 400 IM as it is, you know, and see what she's got. Like, she even swam the 50 free today, so she's doing a little bit of everything, and that keeps swimming interesting for these top athletes. Keeping swimming interesting is really important.
So now it's a bit of all change from the early time with Susie McNair's main threat coming from Georgia Dickey there in the blue cap as we see them coming up to the 300 turn. And then on the right hand side of your screen, Rosie Forster is going very well. So it's Susie, Georgia, Rosie now is your 1, 2, 3, and just 7/10 between Susie and Georgia. But Susie did get that fastest 50 in that one.
Yeah, it looks like the swimmers are starting to go to their legs. With 75 meters, that's a big risk. But you know, having watched Susie do some kick sets, she's got some amazing legs. You know, she definitely is a good kicker. So, you know, that's she's going to her strength. You know, maybe a little bit early on, but she doesn't want to, you know, leave it too late. But here they all go.
She has a lead of a second there, and Rosie Forster putting in a good attack on Georgia Dickey. But, well, Susie will be very experienced with a freestyle at the back end of her 400 IM, and she's using that experience to good effect. There's also a big push coming in lane 6 from Perth's Catherine Renfrew, so she is battling for a medal here. Nobody's going to catch Susie. She will take the win.
It looks like Catherine. Yep.
Yeah, that was a great last length from Catherine Renfrew to take the silver.
31.9.
Yeah, that was the fastest final 50. And Georgia Dickey will pick up the bronze.
Catherine almost a full second faster than even Susie on that last 50. So she's got lots left in the tank. So maybe she left it a little bit too late.
Yeah, because that is always the big regret, because you can't get that back, can you? If you didn't take it out hard enough in that maybe the first half or the first 300, even with a spectacular back end, it's hard to bring it back.
Yeah, the girls on the near side, you know, in lane 2 and 3, they really went for it with 75 meters to go. Went with Susie, and Catherine just held back a little bit, and then went for it with 50 meters to go. So that was a very tactical race, very interesting, very exciting.
So here we have the medalists for the 400 freestyles, and the 15-year-olds and the 16-year-olds up in the podium. The bronze medalist, Lucy Hunter of South Lanarkshire in the 15-year-old age group. And in the 16-year-old age group, Alice Perry. Brian Hendry, former Scottish Amateur Swimming Association president, he was just awarded with a life membership of Scottish Amateur Swimming Association at the beginning of this event, so that was a very nice accolade to Brian. The silver medalist then, Emmy Aitken, with that terrific back end for her for University of Aberdeen, and Coco Croxford for South Lanarkshire in the 16-year-old age group. And the gold medalist in the 15 age group, that very nice swim from Evie Mackey. And in the 16-year-old age group, Phoebe Arbuckle.
Great swim for Phoebe. It was a wonderful 400. I think a big future for this young lady.
Yeah, certainly one of the exciting talents on the distance end in the Scottish junior team. And we should be seeing the 17-18s joining them now. Here they come. So just about getting themselves sorted. There's the bronze medalist, Georgia Dickey of Dumfries, complete with top now. The silver medalist with that amazing final 50. Catherine Renfrew, she looks a bit puggled, doesn't she?
She's very tall as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Great last 50, amazing last 50.
But Susie Bennett looking cool as a cucumber there.
Yeah, she's
a gold medalist.
A seasoned swimmer.
Yep, sterling swimming. Oh, let's hear it for Fauldhouse Penguins. Yeah, let's see it. Nice artwork, sir.
Nice full stands. It's great to see. Creates a great atmosphere.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about coming to Aberdeen. It's not a huge gallery that we've got, and they have to compete for seating here, and it creates a great atmosphere because the roof is fairly low above the gallery, and so the noise just comes down to the poolside, and well, it can get quite raucous, and that's what you want in national age groups, isn't it? You want lots of excitement, lots of noise, lots of drama.
Exactly. You want to create an atmosphere to get some exciting swims. It's some of these great, big, huge venues don't create that atmosphere. So, you know, only events like the Olympic trials can fill a huge stadium. So, you know, Aberdeen is a brand new facility. It's wonderful for Scotland to have such a facility.
So we're going to the 50 freestyles now. This is the male and open, and the 14-year-olds up first, and lane 9 is Lance McMahon of Helensburgh. In lane 8, Fraser Muir from Carnegie. In lane 7, Nebby Singular from Highland. Lane 6, Harry Cook from Aberdeen Dolphin. Lane 5 is Austin McPherson of Geary. Lane 4, Fabio de Armas of Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 3 is Alex Holmes from Glenrothes. Rory Vick of Warrender goes in lane 2. Brodie Lydon for City of Glasgow in lane 1. And Angus Woods of Kintyre, already seen him on the podium in that backstroke earlier on. He goes in lane 0. There's your lineup. Fastest qualifier is the Hamilton Aquatic swimmer, 25.74 for Fabio. But there was 2 other swimmers under 26 in the heats, Austin McPherson of Geary and Alex Holmes of Glenrothes. So they go respectively in lanes 5 and lane 3, with Fabio there in the orange cap of Hamilton Aquatics in lane 4. So they're having to pause a bit. Sometimes they have to just check the starting equipment at the other end before they go. So a little bit of query. There's a deathly hush in the venue. So what else is going on there, I am not sure. So we have quite a lot of noise, static going on here, but we'll see how things are. It does seem to be a bit of a pause here. So are they being asked to relax? I'm not sure. A whole load of swimmers coming round behind them. They wouldn't have allowed that to happen if they were about to start. So we do have some noise coming through here on the sound system for us, which hopefully we can resolve. Hopefully that's not coming through to viewers. There you can get a view of the gallery and see there people standing at the back as well as seated there. It does look like we have a delay here, so I'm not quite sure why, but hopefully we'll get things undergo.
Well, usually it's to make sure that the starting equipment is hooked up properly for the start at the far end of the pool. But I'm not sure what...
Well, something going on. Yeah, definitely is the starting equipment you see there. There's Jordan Young, one of our gurus on the timing. Sweet. So hopefully he has sorted whatever needs to be sorted. Let's see. Well, it doesn't look like they're being called to the blocks just yet. Quite distracting this for the swimmers. How do you cope with the sort of delays like this? What do you tell them to do?
Well, there's always the chance that there is, you know, a little hiccup along the way. So if you're pumping yourself up and you're getting ready for, you know, your big final, and then they tell you to step down, it's really important that you've got a strategy in mind to, to stay calm and to keep your head in the game, so to speak.
So it looks like we are going now. Still getting a lot of static noise here on the live stream. Hopefully that is not coming through to you at home. So we will go through with it. Here we go. So as I said, 3 swimmers under the 26 in the heat. Nice start from Fabio de Armas in lane 4. It looks like he's got the slight advantage here. Also going well in lane 6 is Harry Cook of Aberdeen Dolphin. Aberdeen Dolphin, of course, famous for producing these fast sprinters. And, well, others pretty close as well. Who's going to get the touch? It's a 3-way battle into the wall. Fabio gets it, 25.62. Oh, look at that. What a reaction.
He's very pleased with his result. I think he knew it was close, so he was happy to come up on top of that race. Yeah, 25.6, 25.7, 25.8.
Yeah,
very close.
Very good
Hundredths of a second.
Because he came in on a 26.1, so go down half a second in a 50. That's good. That's very good. So that is in the books. Austin and Harry behind him, and then we move rapidly on to the 15-year-olds. So the lineup for this one: in lane 9, Fraser van der Merlen of Sterling Swimming. Lane 8 is Kai Fern of Aberdeen Dolphin. Lane 7, Ethan Collins of Bells Hill. Lane 6 is Callum Stewart of Highland. Lane 5 is Lachlan Small of Sterling Swimming. Lane 4 is Alfie Price from Orkney. Lane 3, Hamish Maxwell of South Ayrshire. Lane 2 is Dylan Mitchell from Warren de Bass. Lane 1, Aaron Drake of Warren de Bass. And lane 0 is East Lothian's Lewis Lothian. Now, Alfie Price, well, he had a huge PB this morning. He did the same in the fly on Wednesday. He absolutely burst his PB and then did another improvement of half a second in the finals. So can he replicate that here in the freestyle? The swimmer from Orkney. So we'll find out shortly. So as I said, has that gold medal in the 50 fly. So very much, I think, developing as a 50 specialist at the moment. 25.31 is time in the heats. So away they go. 25.47, Lachlan Small, Hamish Maxwell 25.85. They're the 3 under 26 seconds. And, well, it does look like it is the Orkney swimmer Alfie Price who's just coming through now. Certainly had no great advantage from the start, but just pacing it in. And, well, he's got a race on his hands because lane 5 right there with him, Lachlan Small. But it is Alfie Price by 0.08 of a second, 25.06. So he takes another quarter of a second off his time from the heats. And Callum Stewart takes 3rd back to the Highlands.
Oh, that's a great race for Alfie. A fantastic swim. Nice to see swimmers from the far north coming down into Aberdeen to take home gold.
Yeah, it's not too many swimmers who can claim to go south for an Aberdeen National Age Group Championships, but certainly he was one of them, and probably the Highlander as well that took the bronze medal there, Callum Stewart, in the same position. But now we go to the 16-year-old final, and it's Ishmael Shalabi going in lane 9, Connor Christophorus in lane 8 for Aberdeen Dolphin, Rhys Edwards of Dumfries in lane 7, 6 is Corey Phillip at Dundee City Aquatics, lane 5 is Jensen Norris of Perth City, lane 4 Harry Sharp of Warrender, so that bronze medalist in the 200 back, but this is his event. Cameron Hastings, University of Aberdeen in lane 3. Ross Anderson of East Lothian in lane 2. Lane 1 is Callum MacArthur from Mulgai and Bearsden. And lane 0, Alex Taylor from East Lothian. So that is your 16-year-old lineup. Harry Sharp, as I said, the fastest qualifier, 23.93 in the heats. That was around 7/10 faster than anybody else, so you'd probably say he was a good favorite here.
Yeah, I think he's the class of the field here. We'll see if he can follow up his heat swim with an equally fantastic final.
So there they go. Well, got a decent start, but so in lane 3 did Cameron Hastings, who's had a successful time of it. And in lane 5, Jensen Norris, the Perth swimmer. Looks like Harry Sharp, though, maybe just has a slight advantage. Well, he's looking a bit wobbly there as he comes up towards it. This is going to be tight here. Who's going to get the touch? Oh, Harry just gets it, 23.85. Oh, a bit of a nod of the head there. And that was faster than he was. And I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like there's something just slightly awkward in his stroke. Maybe 10, 15 meters to go.
I think he wasn't sure if he was going to touch the wall on his, his dominant hand. So I think he maybe adjusted his stroke a little bit, but he definitely got to the wall first.
Yep.
And but it was close. It's 9/100ths of a second. That's not too far apart.
So nice shot of somebody's head there. I wonder if he knows he's now famous on YouTube. So we wait for the 17, 18 years to come out. They haven't actually confirmed that last result yet. So we just now need to wait to see whether that is confirmed. So
can you hear me?
We'll see how things work out here as we do have a confirmed result there. So it was Jensen Norris was second and Cameron Hastings was third. So on to the 17-18s now. The lineup: Ben Kelly of Warrender in 0, Logan van der Merlen of, well, let's go through from Logan van der Merlen in 1, Zach Slater, East Lothian 2, his teammate Stefan Kravis in 3, Lucas Brown, University of Stirling in 4, Magnus Morris of Red 96 in 5, Callum Peebles back for more in lane 6 for East Lothian, Finlay Sang of City of Glasgow in 7, Kieran Lennox, University of Aberdeen in 8, and Cedar Gullen of Warrender Baths in lane 9. So fastest here, Lucas Brown. So we saw that backstroke battle, Lucas Brown and Callum Peebles, but I think Lucas Brown probably more in his element here in the 50 freestyle. So
yeah, my headphones are not.
Let's see how they go. Lucas 23.88, Magnus 24.1, Stefan 24.1. So top 3 in these. So here we go. Let's see how it works out. That's a great start in lane 3 from Stefan Kravis. So he is really taking it out here. Lane 8 also off to a good start. Kieran Lennox, the specialist fly sprinter. What can he do on the freestyle? So they're all pretty close here as we come down. Let's see who's going to get the touch. I think it is going to be Kravis. It is 23.53. So that's a good bit faster than he was in the heat. So he takes the win there.
It's okay now.
Stefan Kravis with a 23.8 for his entry time. So down to 23.5. And that confirmed there with Lucas Brown in second and Magnus Morris in third. That's your 1, 2, 3. So Kravis really taking that out hard there on that last one, right from the start. Very quick off the blocks. And then his, yeah, definitely took that one fairly definitively.
Yeah, that was a good race. I don't know what happened to lane 8 there. He was, he looked, he was so far ahead at 25. He looked like he had a jump on the start, but by the end of the race, he was nowhere to be seen. So I'm not sure what happened. Kieran Lennox, fantastic 25.
Yeah, that was slightly odd. We are now going to the presentations again. We'll be starting with the 14-year-olds. They are waiting patiently for their presentation to take place.
Lachlan Small getting a medal there. Great swim for those 15-year-olds. It's really good sprinting at that age.
So they'll be getting themselves sorted. You see a stack of medals there on the cushion, waiting to be taken out to our presenter. They so patiently waiting now for the presentations. After this, we stick with 50 freestyle and we go to female events, 14 up to 17, 18s. So they're getting there. Right, off you go. Alan Fletcher there in charge of proceedings in that area, moving them on. So here they come. So
it looks like all the medalists are ready for their presentation.
So starting with the 14-year-olds, and it's Fiona Crawford, the Scottish swimming president, doing these presentations. Austin McPherson of Geary getting the bronze medal. And in the 15-year-old age group, yes, Cameron Hastings, or Callum Stewart rather, of Highland. Apologies for that. Callum Stewart in the 15-year-old age group. The silver medalist in the 14-year-olds, it was Lachlan Small of Stirling Swimming, and the Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer in the 15 age group. That is Lachlan Small in the 15s and Austin McPherson in the 14s. And your gold medalist in the 14 age group, Fabio de Armas, and in the 15-year-old age group, that's Alfie Price, the Orkney swimmer, and Fabio from Hamilton Aquatics. So which means that in the 14 age group, we also go to a Scottish champion. So the Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer there, Austin picks up the second medal there.
Some great sprinters, good results. They're very close races.
Yep, Cameron Hastings taking the bronze in the 16 age group. And the 17-18s, it's Magnus Morris from Ren 96. He's happy with that. The silver medalist, Jensen Norris, in the 16-year-old age group. And in the 17-18s, Stirling University's Lucas Brown.
Squeeze onto the podium.
Yeah, some big boys up there. And your gold medalists, so Harry Sharp in the 16-year-old age group, time of 23.85, and Stefan Kravis in the 17-18 age group takes it in a 23.53. So gold for Stefan there. That's his first gold of these championships. He's usually a prominent gold medalist, so it's been slightly bare for him at the moment. Silver in the 50 breaststroke. He is another one who was down in London last week, and so doing a slightly truncated program this week. That's a lot of his main events. The butterfly he's giving a miss to, certainly the longer events anyway. So on to the 50 freestyle for females now. Again, we've got 4 finals here, starting with the 14-year-olds. And they'll be making their way out very shortly. Here they come. So your lineup here as they come out. Lane 9 will be Freya Keeling of Carnegie. Lane 8 is Heather Clubb of Aberdeen Dolphin. Lane 7, Heather Lafferty from Atlantis, Horsham-based team. Lane 6, Connie Hart from South Ayrshire. Nadia Lim in lane 5 for Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 4 is Lily Mundell of Heart of Midlothian. Fastest qualifier by quite a margin. Caitlin Morton in lane 3 for City of Glasgow, getting rapturous applause from the crowd here. Hayden Holmes from Best, the Borders team, in lane 2. Brooke Stevenson of South Ayrshire in lane 1. And Daisy Gilday of City of Glasgow in lane 0. Hard to see past Lily Mundell, the winner in the 100 freestyle on Wednesday night. And on this one, a 27.2 is just about a second faster than anybody else. And you'd fancy Lily for this.
Yeah, Lily Syme would have qualified her for every one of the age group finals. 14, 15, 16, and the 17, 18-year-old. So she's an outstanding sprinter.
So away they go. Let's see how they come out of the dive. And it certainly was a pretty decent start for Lily, and she is stretching away now. Look at that, very fast stroke rate, real sprinters technique here, up by a body length from lane 5, Nadia Lim, and lane 3, Caitlin Morton. But no doubt who's going to take this. It's going to be a Hearts victory. Lily takes it, 26.97. So that is 0.3 faster than she was in the heats. She came in on 26.86, so knocking on that door, with Nadia Lim in second and Caitlin Morton in third, ahead of Hayden Holmes.
A great swim for Lily. She looks like she only took one breath in that 50-meter swim, so she was the class of the field there. She had almost a body length lead by the end of that 50. So she's one to watch.
Yeah, of course, coached Alison Shepherd in the 50 freestyles. Would she breathe at all down her 50s?
Yeah, she worked on that and got down to one breath for a 50. So that's quite difficult to do, but it's definitely the way that sprinting is going. A lot of sprinters now swim the whole 50 meters without breathing.
Yep. So the lineup for the 15-year-olds, so Caitlin Reid of Warrender in 9, Anna Campbell in lane 8 for City of Glasgow, Riley McIntosh, Dundee City Aquatics in lane 7, Lexi Lamont of Aberdeen in lane 6, Abby McInerney of Inverclyde in 5, Anna Lawson of East Lothian in 4, Molly Irvin Watson of Dumfries in lane 3. Also from Dumfries we've got Anna Dunlop in lane 2, Jessica Kirkwood of University of Aberdeen Performance in lane 1, and Emily McDougall for Highland Swim Team in lane 0. So this one, Anna Lawson had the fastest time in the heats, 27.78, around 0.3 faster than anybody else. Abby McInerney, who's been on the podium a few times, is beside her. Anna Lawson not made her way to the podium yet, other than in relays, so this is her chance in lane 4. And away they go. Let's see how these swimmers go. That's a decent start from Anna. Very decent start. She's up by about a metre here. The others have to play catch up if they can down the second half, perhaps leading the push. Well, there's a number of them coming at her now in the white caps in lanes 1 and 2. And, well, let's see who's going to get it. I think it will be Anna Lawson. Not really threatened here. Takes the win in 27.32, 0.4 faster. Number 1, yep. Anna Lawson, you are number 1. There we go. Half a second up on Abby McInerney in the end. And very tight there. Second, third, and fourth and fifth. Just hundredths between those 4 swimmers. But it's Anna Lawson who takes the honours.
Yeah, very tight for second place, but definitely first place was all that was all about Anna Lawson. She definitely shone. She took the dive and popped up and was right into a super fast tempo, and the sprint is about tempo, and so if you can get yourself to hold water and have a fast tempo, you're going to be the fastest sprinter in the squad.
So we move rapidly on to the 16-year-olds. Ailsa Clubb in lane 9 for Aberdeen Dolphin. Next to her, Amelia Leslie of Stockport Metro. Lane 7 is Rose McDermott of Mulgai and Bearsden. In lane 6, a rapid return to the pool for Phoebe Arbuckle. This is unfamiliar territory for her, a 50 freestyle. Not so much for Layla Weatherspoon, another Hart sprinting ace in lane 5. Fastest qualified Eve Wood of Orkney. Are we going to see a second Orkney gold tonight?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Kiana
Looks like
Kurtzer of Warrender in 3. Natalie Moody of West Lothian in 2. Ella Garrow of Elgin in 1. And Isla Gilmurray of Dundee City Aquatics in 0. So 27.2, Eve Wood was a fair bit faster than Layla Weatherspoon. Layla Weatherspoon, as I said, won the 100. She didn't swim yesterday. She wasn't feeling well, so we'll see how she's feeling in this one today. But it's good to see her back and see whether she can really push hard here against Eve Wood. And also Layla Weatherspoon, Kiana Kurtzer could be pretty close as well. But at the front, it is the two in the center lane. So Layla in the lighter cap, Eve in the dark cap. And they are pretty much stroke for stroke coming down the pool there. Maybe just Eve Wood starting to edge here. They are working it hard. Here comes Kiana Kurtzer as well in lane 3. But it's going to be another Orkney gold. It is Eve Wood who takes the win in 26.99. A couple of tenths faster than she was in the heats. There's confirmation, 26.99. And there's the result with Layla Weatherspoon taking second and Kiana Kurtzer in third, 27.39 and 27.51.
A very good swim from Orkney again, Eve Wood. There must be developing some sprinters up there. That's great to see.
Yeah, it's nice to see Orkney swimming really going up because they're going to be hosting the Island Games next year, so that'll be exciting for them. Now we go here, Georgina Hawkins in the 17-18s goes for Faulthouse Penguins in lane 9. Mia McLeod of West Lothian in 8. Ashley Drake of Warrender in 7. Melissa Turnbull of Stirling Swimming in 6. Natalie Marshall of West Lothian in 5. Ariana Stokes of Morpeth in 4. Catherine Renfrew of Perth City in lane 3. Grace Noonan of Mulgai and Bearsden in lane 2. Lane 1 is Mary Mischenko of University of Aberdeen Performance, and Ailey Robertson goes for South Ayrshire in lane 0. So in this one, Catherine Renfrew is the winner in the 100 freestyle ahead of Ariana Stokes, but Ariana, the fastest qualifier for this final, just 100th between Natalie Marshall and Catherine Renfrew in the heat, so this could be a close one.
I think this is going to be close, so this should be interesting.
Of course, we saw that terrific final 50 from Catherine Renfrew in the 400.
Yeah, that's right, she's got some speed.
So let's see how they go. Not a lot to choose between them out of the dive, but maybe just edging it now is Ariana Stokes in lane 4, the Morpeth swimmer. She is a Scot. Great to see her coming up, but they're coming at her now. Catherine Renfrew certainly is there or thereabouts in lane 3, but Ariana, I think, just has the edge, and she is going to come and take her first gold of these championships.
Well, good touch for Ariana. I thought maybe she was going to reach around and take another stroke and lose that, but she reached for the wall and touched nicely.
Catherine Renfrew taking second and Natalie Marshall in third, just 800ths between them.
Well, that's a good back-to-back swim for Catherine, doing a great job in the 400 and then standing up and winning a silver medal in the 50 free. So a very talented swimmer.
Yeah, they do know how to produce great swimmers in Perth. There's no doubt about that. So we'll be going back to the podium now. So we'll just
get all these swimmers organized for their medals now. And then we've got the 100-meter breaststroke coming up. That's always an exciting race.
So here we are, our 14 and 15-year-old medalists. So the bronze medalist in the 14 age group is Caitlin Morton of City of Glasgow. And in the 15-year-old age group, the bronze medalist, Dumfries's Anna Dunlop.
A good swim for Anna. She went into that final as
silver medalist
place.
then. In the 14 age group, Nadia Lim from Hamilton Aquatics. And in the 15-year-old age group, Inverclyde swimmer Abby McInerney continuing her medal collection. And now to the champions, the 14-year-old age group. It's Heart of Midlothian's Lily Mundell. And in the 15-year-old age group from East Lothian, it's Anna Lawson. Masters and open water legend Brian Bain doing these presentations. Nice to see Brian coming and seeing how the younger swimmers do it. He was swimming very hard at the Masters event a couple of weeks ago in this pool.
Yes, a great Masters contingent in Scotland. Lots of competitive age groups and 5-year intervals instead of 1-year intervals.
Yep.
All the way up to, I saw a swimmer in the 100-year-old age group a few months ago, swimming in British Columbia, back home where I come from.
That's unbelievable, isn't it, that they can still do that. So we go to the 16-year-olds now, and that is Kiana Kurtzer, the bronze medalist. And then we go to the silver medalist, and that is Catherine Renfrew from Perth City and Morpeth. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused here. The 16-year-olds, so Layla Weatherspoon of Hearts and Eve Wood of Orkney. So that's second gold for Orkney. 17-18's not quite ready to come up yet.
It looks like all those swimmers enjoying themselves on the podium.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. These young swimmers like to take home some hardware.
Yep, so there is Natalie Marshall, is the bronze medalist in the 17-18s. And now we do have Catherine Renfrew on the podium for the second time. 450 silver medals in both. And Morpus Ariana Stokes. So, nice 12 swim up there.
There's some quality sprinters for Scotland, all lined up there. And other places abroad, like Dubai, and the Hamilton swimmer.
Yep. So we are done with our 50s. They were good. And we go to 100 breaststroke now with the male and opens. So again, a little bit of an adjustment to do to get the start sorted back at the, I say the start end, because in the 50s, the start end is the other end. But here they come. So these are the youngsters, 11 to 13-year-olds, coming out to the blocks. So in lane 9, we have Lyle McKelvey for Cooper. In lane 8, Thomas Vakulitz of Heart of Midlothian. In 7, it's Hayden Simpson of Mulgai and Bears Den. In 6, South Ayrshire's Max Clark. In lane 5, Daniel Rose of Aberdeen. In lane 4, it's Brogan Smith of Glenrothes, who'll be looking to atone from his DQ earlier. Lane 3, Luke Todd of First. Lane 2 is Zach Neeson from South Lanarkshire. Lane 1, Tynan Baird of South Ayrshire. And lane 0, Emilian Gies of Aberdeen Dolphin. So the fastest qualifier by quite a margin was Brogan Smith. So he was the gold medalist in the 200 breaststroke, as these youngsters don't swim the 50s in the form events. So they get 2 shots at their discipline, and Brogan will be wanting to make it 2 out of 2 here.
We're coming off the Olympic trials where we watched a great Adam PD re-qualify for the Olympics again with a 57 in 100 breaststroke. So we'll see if the youngsters are coming to chase him down.
I don't think we'll see a 57 today, but it would be quite remarkable if you did. Good start from Brogan though. He has got the clear advantage here. He's about a body length up, and I'm sure all these budding breaststrokers will look up to the likes of Adam. Of course, we've got a great breaststroker, Archie Goodburn, here in Scotland in the Edinburgh University programme. 36.42 then for Brogan. He leads by over a second and a half. Daniel Rose, Luke Todd behind him. Well, it's hard to see past Brogan now.
Yep, Brogan's definitely got a strong stroke, really powerful kick, getting right down underwater with his head position, so he's maximizing the power of his legs.
So you see, in particularly with these youngsters, quite a lot of variation of technique in breaststroke in terms of how much they come out of the water. And would you say Brogan's there, that is the way to do it?
That's definitely one of the ways to swim, just swimming sort of closer to the surface and not really diving your head underwater is one way. Certainly Adam Peaty swims that way, higher on the water, and uses a lot more power, but it gives you a fast tempo, so you're sort of balancing between distance per stroke, diving underwater style, and to a high tempo gliding over the surface style. And it's very interesting to see the differences, because there doesn't really seem to be one way that's better. But
is it one more suitable to sprints and one more suitable to the 200s?
No, there doesn't seem to be that. You would think there would, but there does seem to be, sort of, a best way for each individual. So you either go with a wave style where you're diving your head underwater, to a swimming on the surface style where you're just staying horizontal after each kick.
So we've got the 14-year-olds here. So Taylor Adam for Perth City in 9, Alex Cantley of South Aberdeenshire in 8, Michael Gavin, University of Aberdeen Performance in 7, Cameron Cholly, University of Aberdeen Performance in 6, Rory Vick in 5 for Warrender, Stepas Nastjuk of Stranraer in 4, Fabio De Armas of Hamilton Aquatics in 3, Aaron Machin of City of Glasgow in 2, Lewis Spray in lane 1 for Inverclyde, and Austin McPherson for Geary in lane 0. This is going to be an interesting one. Rory Vick, the winner in the 200 breaststroke, but Stepan Nastjuk were very, very good in the heats this afternoon. So he was the fastest qualified by just over a 10th. So I think it might be interesting between these two. Fabio as well could be in the mix.
Yeah, the 4 middle lanes were all within a second of each other, so it's anybody's race. So the swimmers will be talking to their coaches and coming up with a race plan to see how they're going to win this race.
So what advice would you be giving to a young swimmer like one of these while he's going into a final here? And
well, to work on the things that they've been working on, to make sure that they've got their head in their lane, that if they've been working on their starts, to make sure that their start is good, make sure they're if they've been working on their tempo, to stick with that plan and not get too overly excited for the race, is keep to their plan. So sometimes with these young swimmers, they get a little bit almost don't know what they're doing, and they go too fast on the first 25, or but at the same time you don't want to to ruin anybody's competitiveness, but it's looking pretty close here. These swimmers are all coming down. It's going to come down to the touch.
Yeah, this is an absolutely cracking race here. Stepan Nasiuk's had a really difficult start, but he is coming storming through in lane 4, and I think he is going to come through. No, it's not. It's lane 3 is taking it. It's Fabio de Armas taking it. Well, there are some huge cheers going on there. I think we must have some of the Dubai contingent come across here to celebrate that because, well, there's some people in the gallery going absolutely bananas here. Fabio taking it, Rory Vic second, Stepan Nasiuk's third. And that was a cracker there. Fabio taking
came
it
from behind. That was a fantastic swim. He saved himself for the last 25 and then, you know, really went for the finish. And that was probably what his coach and Fabio were talking about, to save himself for the last 25 meters, and he did a great job.
Yeah, certainly did. That was good execution there. And to the 15-year-olds coming out now. So the lineup in this one. In lane 9, Clark Malkin Gill of Inverclyde. In lane 8, Fraser van der Merlen for Sterling Swimming. Lane 7 is Lewis Lothian of East Lothian. Lane 6, Ethan Collins of Bellshill Sharks. Lane 5, Lachlan Small of Sterling Swimming. Lane 4, Dylan Mitchell of Warren de Baths. In lane 3, Fraser Dow of Perth City. In lane 2, Finley Bennett of South Lanarkshire. Lane 1 is Kyle Connolly of City of Glasgow. And lane 0 is Logan Warburton of Blackpool Aquatics. So there's about a second between Dylan Mitchell and Lachlan Small in the heat, so we'll see how this works out in practice here in this 15-year-old final.
Lachlan's just coming off his 53 silver medal, so we'll see how he puts 2 races together.
He did win the gold in the 50 breaststroke ahead of Dylan Mitchell. Dylan with 2 breaststroke silvers at the moment. Would love to get a gold in this one. So off they go. So 110.65 for Lachlan, 109.56 for Dylan, and it is the Warrender swimmer Dylan Mitchell who's got the slight advantage. Also a nice start in lane 7. Lane 6 rather, that is Ethan Collins. It does look like it is
Fraser
Dylan.
Dow is coming through in lane 3.
Yeah, Fraser Dow certainly in the mix. He was the winner in the 200 breaststroke, so he could be strong in the second half here. Dylan Mitchell will be very aware of him, and at the moment he's got about 1.5 meters advantage. So Dylan looking strong here. He is pulling away, so 2 silvers in the breaststroke, but he's going to bring it gold here, I think, in the 100. The race is on now for second place. Fraser Dow in lane 3 against Lachlan Small in lane 5 as we see the headshot of Dylan Mitchell coming in. It's going to be mighty close for second, all on the touch. It goes to Fraser by the narrowest of margins there, 0.03 of a second over Lachlan Small. But there's your winner, Dylan Mitchell. So after those silver medals, he'll feel pretty good about that gold.
That's a great swim for Mitchell. Really took that race out and brought it home as well. So he's, you know, had a good lead after 25 meters. So, you know, he was very aggressive in that race. Decided he was going to go for it and kept going. Didn't think about anybody else. Just kept his head and had a great swim.
Yeah, a real feeling of self-belief, I think, around that swim. That, you know, he knew what he had to do, and then he just went on and got the job done. And I think certainly after the turn, he really felt strong and ready to deliver down the second 50.
Yeah, the turn is the only place that he's going to be able to see any of the other swimmers when you're in the lead. You can't, unless somebody's right beside you, you're really not going to be able to see them. So, you know, once he did the turn and saw he was ahead, he must have just thought, right, here we go, and just kept going. It was a great swim.
Yep.
Really powerful swimmer.
Nice to see the teams there congratulating the swimmers as they come onto the podium. And we talked about very strong breaststroke swimmer Kathy Johnson, who's doing these presentations, now coaching at Hamilton Aquatics. So the bronze medalist in the 13 age group, Hayden Simpson and Mulguy and Bearsden. And that salute there from Stepas Nastjuks, the bronze medalist in the 14 age group. Silver medalist Daniel Rose of Aberdeen in the 13 age group, and in the 14 age group, Rory Vick.
Yeah, the medal presenter, Catherine, she was a breaststroke swimmer, swam for Scotland. She swam with Carnegie, and then she swam with Edinburgh University. And she was doing her degree, and now coaching in Dubai.
So the gold medalist then, and national champions Brogan Smith there for Glenrothes, and Cathy's very own Fabio de Armas of Hamilton Aquatics, the gold medalist in the 14. The national champion is Rory Vick for Warrender. Cathy looks in great shape there. Looks like she could go in and swim a pretty fast 50 breaststroke right now.
I was saying that to her. I said that she looks really fit. I think that she's a personal trainer as well as a swimming coach. So I told her she should be swimming master swimming.
Yeah, I think she would be shaking them up if they did. Because there was that great trio of breaststrokers in Edinburgh University at the time with Corrie Scott as well.
Ah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and Andrea Strachan. And then, of course, well, we've got Cara Hanlon there, a great breaststroker. So we go on now to the 16-year-old final. Out they come. This, again, I think could be a pretty interesting one. So Keir Stormonth goes in lane 9 for Heart of Midlothian. In 8 is Conor Christophorus for Aberdeen Dolphin. In lane 7, Aberdeen's Aidan Bruce. Lane 6, Craig Shaw of South Lanarkshire. In lane 5, Gregor Ross, City of Glasgow. In lane 4, Johnny Martin of Perth City. In lane 3, Ewan Weir of Perth City. 2 is Lewis Gibson of South Ayrshire. Then we have Toby Bullock in lane 1 representing Midlothian, and Aidan McCavish of First in lane 0. So these are your 16-year-olds.
Well, the middle of the pool, those swimmers did a 109 this morning, so it'll be interesting to see if either one of them is going to step up and win this race. 110 was going into third place, so lanes 3, 4, 5 are all about the same time.
Yep, Ewan Weir, the winner in the 50, and the winner in the 200 was Toby Bullock. They're both in this race. Johnny Martin, silver in the 50, the fastest qualifier in lane 4. So the Perth swimmers looking strong here. Also up there in lane 5, that is Gregor Ross of City of Glasgow, very strong breaststroker, but it does look like Johnny Martin, who's really having a bit of a breakthrough year. Johnny, I've seen him recently absolutely starring, very good at Scottish schools in East Kilbride a couple of months ago. And it's 31.3 for Martin, half a second up as they come down the second length then. Looks like he's got this, as I said, silver in the 50 breaststroke. Looks like he's going to move up a gear, unless his Perth teammate is coming at him, and he is starting to come at him here. So this is going to be a Perth head-to-head with Ewan Weir right up there now with Johnny Martin. It's all going to be about nailing the finish now. Who's going to get it? Oh, that was the experience of Ewan Weir, I think, there at the end.
Yeah, Ewan dove for the wall, and Johnny decided to take an extra stroke, and that cost him a spot on the podium. You know, I think Johnny was slightly ahead, but it came down, they were all on the same stroke pattern going into the wall, but you could really see that Ewan decided to dive for the finish and reach out and touch with his fingertips, and Johnny thought, well, he wasn't going to do that, he's going to go for another stroke. But if you take another stroke, it's going to cost you a few tenths of a second. So once you're going underneath the flags and you're heading for the wall, you need to start looking at the wall to decide whether you're going to stretch your strokes out or shorten them out up to hit the wall perfectly. And that gold medal was won with experience.
Yeah, that was certainly a learning moment there for Johnny, but we go to the 17-18s now. Fraser Tetlow in lane 9 for Geary. Finley Davis of Midlothian in 8. Luke Jansen of Warrender in 7. Rory Webster for Dumfries in 6. Royce Trinkellis of City of Glasgow in lane 5. Connor Mitchell, Warrender Baths in 4. 3 is Jack Mitchell, University of Aberdeen Performance. Stefan Kravis back again in lane 2 for East Lothian. Finley Sang, City of Glasgow in 1, and David Smith of Glenrothes in lane 0. So Connor Mitchell will be looking to pick up another gold medal for the Mitchell household. We saw his brother Dylan pick up gold just now. Connor already golds in the 50 and the 200, so you'd fancy him here in the 100. 105 for him in the heats. So let's see what he does. He was a 30.7 at the turn, so keep that as a yardstick.
Well, lane 4 is going in with a 105. Lane 5 with 106. Lane 3 107. So it is close, but it looks like lane 2 is at a great start.
Yep, Stefan Kravis won this event last year, and certainly we saw him looking in good form in the 50 freestyle earlier, so showing some good explosive pace off the blocks there. But I think Dylan is coming at, Connor is coming at him now and has the advantage at the turn, 30.2, so that's half a second faster than he was in the heat. Stefan, I don't think is done yet though, although I think Connor has the edge on him. They are 1 and 2 with half a length to go. In between them in third place is Jack Mitchell in the white of University of Aberdeen, and challenging him Royce Trinkellis in lane number 5. But it's going to be another Warrender win. It's going to be a hat-trick of breaststroke wins for Connor Mitchell in 104.53. So I think he'll be pretty happy with that time. 104.90 was his time coming into this meet. So knocking off 4/10 there. Stefan Kravis, good swim from him, 105.25 right on his lifetime best. And Jack Mitchell holds on to the bronze ahead of Royce Trinkellis. Thoughts on that one, Gary?
Well, it's a good race for Connor. He was being challenged by Stefan at the 50-meter mark, both going out in 30 point. But really strong turn for Connor, and held a lead after the turn and didn't look back. But Stefan gave him a run for his money. He does have a very nice stroke. He's riding really high on the water, but he's able to get his hips up, so he's able to, sort of on his kick, get his body quite flat and horizontal, so he's not getting a lot of resistance by dragging his hips through the water. So some good breaststroke there. 104 is a nice swim, and 105. Those are good. Have lots of potential in the future. The fastest swimmers in the world are under a minute, so they still have a ways to go before they're knocking on that door, but they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. So we have the 15-year-old medal presentations, and Lachlan Small, the bronze medalist there, just waiting to get his medals. Looks like Kathy's right there to make the presentations. We've got no medals to present. Have we got a world shortage of national medals now? Hopefully we'll get there. So these guys are going to have to wait patiently. And Kathy is as well. Just out of your shot now. Where are the medals? Has somebody nicked them? Here we go. There we go. We have medals. Oh, I don't know what's happened there.
Things are starting to fall apart on the podium.
Day 3, and things are tough. So here we go. So Lachlan Small in the 15-age group. The bronze medalist Cameron Hastings for the 16s. And Magnus Morris. So So that is Jack Mitchell taking the bronze for the 78. Oh, he's getting his medal. So then to the silver medalists. And Fraser Dow, silver medalist for the 15-year-olds. There's Johnny Martin.
Fraser doesn't look too happy. I think that he was. That's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah, but maybe that will be valuable going forward. Stefan Kravis there with a strong swim in the 17-18 age group. Silver medal for him to add to his gold earlier. And your champions then, the 15-year-olds, Dylan Mitchell doffs the hat and back on again. And the 16, well, with that great finish, Ewan Weir, so breaststroke double for him, 100 and 200, and a clean sweep for this young man. That's Connor Mitchell, so the two Mitchell brothers side by side there on the podium. And that's good points for Warrender in the team competition. 2 wins there out of the 3. So breaststroke is proving good for Warrender. They're having a pretty good night, I would say, overall.
I think they are. The Perth is well represented. Warrender is well represented. Orkney's well represented.
Yeah, they've done very well. So we move on to 200 butterfly, our last individual event of the evening. Again, we run through the 5 age groups, starting with the youngsters. Well, this female 200 butterfly.
200 butterfly, it's the female 11 to 13-year-old category.
So the door is closed to the call room, but now here they come. Out into the bright lights.
It looks like this will be a close race. Charlotte Craig's going in with a 440, 242, and then 244, 244, 246 with the girls around her, so could be good.
Yep, let's have a see how it works out. Emily Taylor in 9 for South Lanarkshire, Millie Searle in 8 for Geary, Lula Milne in 7 for City of Glasgow. There's Katie Ray then for Geary. 5 is Sophia Anderson of Tynemouth. Charlotte Craig, the fastest qualifier for Ren 96 in 4. Holly Warburton of Blackpool Aquatics, her and her brother up here in Aberdeen this week. Eve Palmer of West Lothian in lane 2. Katie Aitchison will go for Warrender in lane 1, and Ava Smith of Geary in lane 0. So as you said, Charlotte Craig 242. Then we've got 2 swimmers 244s, Holly and Sophia. It's up for grabs, you would think, this one.
Yep, it looks like, lining up as a good race. It depends how hard the swimmers went this morning, but based on their heat swim, it should be really close.
So we've not swum the 100 yet for the females, so this is really our first sightings of the youngsters in butterfly. So where we go, out of the dive, and you can see there in a line, not too many differentiations. Good start up there in lane 7. That is Lula Milne. But now getting into a stride in lane 4 is Charlotte Craig, the Ren 96 swimmer, and beside her in lane 5, Sophia Anderson of Tynemouth, a Scot based in the Newcastle area there. 33.68 for Charlotte. In fact, Holly Warburton in 2nd, Lula Milne 3rd. And, well, it's quite a bit of a change there in the second 50. So it's lane 4 is Charlotte Craig, and it is Holly Warburton who is her main challenger in lane 3, and then in lane 7, Lula Milne. But Holly is right up there now with Charlotte.
Well, looks like she's challenging for medals here. Lane 3, Holly Warburton looks really good.
So just 2 tenths between them, but that was a nice turn from Charlotte. She got a little bit of a jump on Holly through that turn. Still, it's Lula in third place, but she's now being challenged by the swimmer inside her, and that is Katie Ray of Geary, and also not far away in lane 5, Sophia Anderson. So they're all challenging, but it's Charlotte who's got about a meter's lead now as they come up to the 150, but that's certainly not an insurmountable lead. Holly is hanging in there, and there's others not far behind. So 5 of them.
Holly's been catching up on every length and then losing her advantage off the turns. So Charlotte's doing a great job off the walls. You can see how much of an advantage that gives her. But now it's coming down to the last length. Lane 7, that's Lula Milne. And here comes lane 5. Sophia Anderson is saving herself for the last 50. She looks strong.
Yeah, so we see this up front shot of Charlotte Craig, so she's certainly looking like she's going to take this comfortably. And Sophia in lane 5, I think, is maybe just moving up and will snatch the silver just ahead of Lula Milne. So good final 50 from the Tyne Mouth swimmer. And we're getting some rapturous applause just in front of us. So I think that might be Sophia's parents, but there. Is that pointing to her muscles or pointing to the little sign on her arm there? I think maybe the latter.
A Ren 96 temporary tattoo on her biceps for effect.
Yep, so Charlotte, Sophia, Lula. They're 1, 2, 3. So as you said there, that was all about turns really, wasn't it, for Charlotte?
Yeah, Charlotte had great turns. She was really, pushing her underwater. Not to a ridiculous distance, but the other swimmers, they really weren't going very far underwater at all. So she was gaining about 2 meters on every turn, and 2 meters, adds up.
So now we go to the 14-year-olds. Here they come, and in lane 9 is Eve Smith of University of Aberdeen, Anna McCarty of City of Glasgow in lane 8, Alice Pennell of West Lothian in lane 7, Khalida Smith, Aberdeen Dolphin in 6, Amber Hinton in lane 5 for Dumfries, Cleo Houghton of West Lothian in 4, Freya Keeling of Carnegie in 3, Amy Rowell goes in lane 2 for City of Glasgow, Amber Niven of Carnegie in 1, and Rebecca Reid for Warren de Baths in lane 0. And that's your lineup. Here the fastest qualifier by a fair margin, Cleo Houghton. Seen Amber Hinton, of course, going already at silver in the gold, I think, in the 400 in the Heat Club winner event this afternoon.
Cleo had a great morning swim of a 2:29, so we'll see if she's got a little bit more left in the tank after that. But that's just she's got 5 seconds on the field.
Yeah, she comes into this meet on a 2:27, so I'm sure she'll be hoping to at least match 2:27 this evening.
And great start for lane 6. Khalila Smith was really good underwater work. You can see she's got a whole body length lead after the first 25 meters.
Yeah, the Aberdeen Dolphin is so good at teaching the technical skills, aren't they? Laura Bowie, their head coach, really drills in those techniques into them. And well, this is a good start from Khalila. So she has set down the challenge, but well, we're showing actually lane 7. Am I getting myself mixed up here? I think it's Alice Pennell, in fact, leading the way.
I think that was a soft touch because Khalila definitely was in the lead there.
I think you're right, yeah.
So
and
Khalila's time would come from her push-off rather than her hand touch.
Yeah, but we're seeing Cleo now starting to make her move.
Yeah, Cleo's. Now she's starting to make her move. Definitely nice smooth stroke, getting her hips up, getting her feet up. Butterfly's a wave stroke. So the head, the hips, the feet.
So 1:10.56, and that's a second and a half faster than she was in the heats earlier on. So this is looking good for Cleo Houghton. to possibly get inside that 2:27 that she has entered on. Behind her now in lane 5 is Amber Hinton. So she is the nearest challenger, and she's putting in a good effort down this third length. And then behind her is the early leader, Kalila Smith, in lane 6. So this is getting tight now.
Yeah, it's a close race. So Cleo hasn't got as much of a lead as she had, and Amber has outsplit her there. She was Amber split a 38, and Cleo was a 39. So she's really coming back on her.
So we got a thriller on our hands here now. And again, I think we might well see it's going to be about the skills down this, maintaining the stroke under pressure and then nailing the finish. And it does look like Amber Hinton has just got the edge, but Cleo is not done yet. So the two of them going at it, hammer and tongs here, down into the final 5 meters. Let's see who's going to get the touch. It's all about the finish now, and it is Amber Hinton. What a second half from her. Takes the win, 2:28.16. Cleo Houghton, 2:28.38. And Kalila Smith holding on to third in 2:33.07 ahead of Alice Pennell. What a race that was.
That was a fantastic race. So Amber coming from behind at the, sort of with the last 75 meters, she really made her decision that she was going to push. And she had a great last turn, came off the wall and went for it. And to be fair to Cleo, she didn't make it easy. They came back, and it came down to the last few strokes. And neither of them made a mistake on the touch, so they both touched the wall really well, and they did the best that they could. And the result was as it should be. There was no mistakes.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? When you can come out and say, well, I really gave it a good shot.
Absolutely.
So on to the 15-year-olds, and in lane 9 we have Lucy Hall of East Lothian. In lane 8, Emily Thompson of Perth City. In lane 7 it's Josie Grimes of Warren de Baths. In lane 6, Beth Kelly, also of Warren de Baths. Lane 5 is Abigail Crawford of City of Glasgow. Lane 4, Evie Mackey back again for South Lanarkshire. Lane 3, Emma Burrell of Mid Lothian. 2 is Heidi Carr from Newcastle. Lane 1, Ciara Finlayson of City of Glasgow. And Cara White goes for N96 in lane 0. So in these 15-year-olds, Evie Mackey looking to continue her good work after that excellent swim we saw from her earlier.
Yeah, so Evie's going in with a 2:28, which was the winning time for the 14-year-olds. Cleo and Amber 2:28. So we'll see what Evie's got.
So already a win in the 400 freestyle earlier today. That was gold medal number 3 for Evie. Can she make it number 4 here? Certainly off to a good start there. Ahead of Abigail Crawford in lane 5. So straight away a meter up.
She's got that flexibility in the shoulders that allows her to really press her shoulders down and lift her hips up. So she's got that balance, and she's got that wave going through her body down through her hips and into her feet. And without that, it's very difficult to swim butterfly.
31.0, so a second and a quarter up at the first turn. And stretching out after the turn as well, so that lead is growing and growing. The race is about third at the moment. Lane 6 is Beth Kelly. Lane 2 is up in the mix, that's Heidi Carr, and just behind them in lane 3 is Emma Burrell. But, well, it's looking pretty good for Eve Mackey there. 1:07.48 for her at halfway. Her lead is now nearly 2.5 seconds. You see a 36.4 against the 37.5 there for the second 50.
Yeah, she's certainly the toss of the field here. Able to, hold her tempo, hold her splits. And I would imagine her third 50, she was 36.4 on her second 50. I would imagine she would be 36 high maybe 37 low on this 50, unless she starts to tire a little bit from her program. So 38.6, she is starting to tire a little bit. We'll see if Abigail can come back on her.
So is that 400 freestyle race earlier just beginning to tell?
Oh yeah,
in the body.
She's probably used up most of her glycogen, and now she's pretty close to running on empty. But she's holding on very well. Everybody else is getting tired at the end of the race too, so she's given herself enough cushion to be able to hold on. But you don't see her hips coming up anymore. You don't see her legs coming up anymore.
So it's going to be a hanging on. Can she hang on? Because this is really tight.
Oh!
Abigail gets it on the death. Again, another one where she just absolutely nailed the finish. And you have to feel for Evie there, because as you said, running on empty down that last length, and that just cost her the gold there. So 2:27 was...
I think Evie might have had a soft touch there, but she looked like she touched the wall first. But with the result right now, Abigail is the winner. Abigail finishing very strong the last 25 meters. But I think that she saw Evie starting to fade, and she saw her advantage and really went for it. But the last stroke, Evie was slightly ahead. We'll see if the plungers call it differently.
So we're certainly not confirmed that result yet, so we will just wait to see if that result is confirmed. Heidi Carr finishing in a third spot, ahead of fourth place Beth Kelly. But they are probably, I think, having a little bit of a discussion about this one. So see if you're right, Gary. Here comes the confirmed result though. No, and it stands.
There we go.
So Abigail does get the win by 700ths of a second.
I think Evie might have touched the wall with a flat hand versus fingertips, and Abigail stretched for the wall, put her head down, touched with her fingertips, and won by, what's that, 7/100ths of a second. So 7/100ths of a second, if you took a stopwatch and you pressed start, stop as fast as you could, you wouldn't be able to get 7/100ths of a second.
So back to the medal podium. And the 11 to 13s and the 14-year-olds up there.
Some happy swimmers there, looking forward to getting their hardware.
So
distinguished coach Gordon Glasgow handing out the medals.
Yep. So Lula Milne getting the bronze in the 11 to 13s, and Kalila Smith for Aberdeen Dolphin in the 14s. The silver medalist Sophia Anderson of Tynemouth for the 11 to 13s, and Cleo Houghton in the girls. You see there, swimming from West Lothian here, but you see there Portsmouth North Sea is where she does her main swimming. Just swims for West Lothian coming up to Scotland. And your gold medalist, Ren 96 is Charlotte Craig. And Amber Hinton from Dumfries, the gold medalist.
A few swimmers come up from England and swim under the banner of other clubs, usually a team that they know or the coach that they know, and it gives them a chance to swim against other Scottish swimmers despite living down in England, which is fair enough.
Of course, they could represent their home club, but it's nice to just have that coaching influence up here. It might not be a coach that they're used to working with, but it's still valuable. And also sometimes I guess you get different insights from a different coach, and it's just good to hear that as well.
It's important to be able to work with lots of different coaches, because that's often what happens when you get to the international level. the swimmer might make the team, but the coach might not, and so you would be assigned a different coach at an international competition. So you need to know how to, have those discussions with your home coach and with your assigned coach, and hopefully those two coaches also have a good conversation before you go. But swimming's like that. It's a team effort quite often, between coaches and swimmers and other coaches.
Yeah, but even at this level, you'd expect that to happen from the coach in Scotland to have a conversation with the home coach for that swimmer and just talk through what the aspirations are for the meet. But here we go with the 16-year-olds. Bella Geard goes for Warrender in lane 9. Lauren Brolly of Fauldhouse in 8. Lucy Morgan, University of Aberdeen in 7. In 6 is Millie Barton of Bellshill Sharks. In 5, Ellie Kennedy, City of Glasgow. Lane 4 is Coco Croxford of South Lanarkshire. In lane 3, City of Glasgow of Alice Cumming. 2 is Kirsty Breakin from Aberdeen Dolphin. Lane 1, Ellen Denny of Geary. And lane 0, Kristen Mackay from Finns.
Well, it looks like Coco is the cream of the crop here. Her time this morning, 2:22, was over 12 seconds faster than the girls on both sides of her. So she's going to be swimming this race most likely, on her own.
Yeah, she was a B finalist, not just a junior finalist, a B finalist in the British Championships last week. So this is, I think, her main event, 200 butterfly. So it'll be interesting to see how fast she goes here. As she said, 2:22 her time, 2:15 her entry time here. I doubt she'll go that fast today, but well, it's hard to see anybody challenging her seriously here.
I think that 2:15 might be a converted time, but I'm not sure. But she certainly is an amazing butterfly swimmer. She's got that great shoulder flexibility.
Yeah, she did actually at the Olympic Festival when she represented Scotland, Great Britain rather, in the Olympic Festival. That's really your first international competition that you can go in for. So.
And she was 2:15 there.
Yeah.
That's world class.
So she was actually a bronze medalist at that Olympic Festival, going up against the cream of the crop across Europe in her age group.
Well, she must not be intimidated by racing international swimmers. So that's a really important skill for Scottish swimmers, to be able to go into international or European competitions and stand up and race with a smile on their face and not be intimidated at all.
So nearly 3 seconds faster than she was in the heat. So she is taking this out very hard here. No doubt she's going to take this. It's looking pretty strong in second place for lane 5, Ellie Kennedy. And then in lane 3, it looks like it's another City of Glasgow swimmer, Alice Cumming, in third place. But, well, this is the Coco Croxford show, 1:41.42. That's now 4 seconds faster than she was this morning. You see her 36.5 there.
She was 34 on her second 50, 36 on that third 50. So she slowed down a little bit, but I can see how she's gone 2:15 before. She doesn't look like that she's slowing down at all. So, she's got a great future in this event.
So very well stretched out here, but Coco Croxford, she's not going to be far from 2:15 here.
No.
2:17 maybe, yep, 2:16.99. So really excellent swim there from the South Lanarkshire swimmer. Here comes second place. So Ellie Kennedy, a comfortable second in 2:26.97. That is also well inside her heat swim of 2:34. And likewise, Alice Cumming comes in 2:31. That's an improvement of 3 seconds compared with this morning. So all three of them stepping it up from heats to finals.
Well, 2:16 is a very good swim. 2:15 is an outstanding swim. Anything under 2:10 is world class. The fastest swimmers in the world aren't going a lot faster than 2:10. So, the very fastest in the world are getting close to 2:05 and 2:04. But you know, she's still a young girl, so she's got plenty of future ahead of her.
Yeah, so the European Juniors team too is going to be announced pretty soon. It'll be interesting to see if she has found a place on it.
That was based on the Olympic trials.
Yeah, where she was in the B final, so she must have given herself a good chance in that one. So our last individual race of the evening is the 17-18 years 200 butterfly. Line up here, lane 9, Lucy de Grosser of best. Ashley Drake beside her for Warrender in lane 8. 7 is Heidi Wren of City of Glasgow. 6, Tia Aitken, University of Aberdeen Performance. In 5, it's Orla McInnes from Heart of Midlothian. Lane 4, Stella McCarty from City of Glasgow. Emma Creaney goes in lane 3, representing Cumbernauld. In 2, it's Jessica Heaps of Fauldhouse Penguins. Lane 1, Kira Pemble, a second border swimmer. And in lane 0, Rosie Liston from the City of Glasgow. So third City of Glasgow swimmer in this final. Stella McCarty, the fastest here, 2:21.5.
Swimmers from right across the board here, but City of Glasgow has a history of outstanding distance swimmers, and 3 in the 17-18-year-old girls 200 fly finals. Certainly a good tell that they're continuing a fantastic distance program.
So away they go. So our last.
You can see the Heart of Midlothian swimmer there. I think it's that Heart of Midlothian. Yeah, the Orla. What a fantastic start! And takes a body length off of Tia Aitken, and it's hard to come from a whole body length down with you basically just got wet. It's so important to have your starts and turn skills perfected in this type of situation. You don't really have to do too much to get a 2-meter lead. If you know how to do it.
Looks like Stella now is working it back down again now, though. Great swim early on from Rosie Liston down in lane 0. So she is putting in a good fight from the outside lane, but I think it will develop into a race between the swimmers in the centre lanes in the second half. And is it going to be Stella? Yes, it is. 108.10 against Orla's 108.49. And Emma Creaney in lane 3, turning in third place, 109.36. 3/10 or so up on Heidi Wren. So that's your top 3. And
Stella looks good. Yeah, Stella's really coming through, holding her tempo. She's not dropping off at all. But Orla is trying to hold on. But Stella's looking like she's got this one. But there's still 50 meters to go in 200 fly. The last 50 is what it's all about. You can win or lose a race, as we already seen tonight.
That's right.
In the 14-year-old girls, the wheels can fall off pretty quickly. And butterflies like that. It's a tough race. Both arms are coming out the water, plus your head, plus your shoulders. That's anything that comes out the water becomes heavy.
But Stella's wheels look to be firmly still intact as she comes down. She was silver medalist in the British Summer Championship last year, so she's able to do 200 fly at the highest level and comes in 2:21.82, pretty much on her heat swim time. Orla McInnes will take the silver. Look at that race for third.
Place.
So tight. Heidi Wren just edging it by a 10th from Tia Aitken and Emma Creaney just behind them. Lovely hug there as the two of them talking through. Stella McCarty and the 18-year-old. So this will be her last national age group. She's off to America to college, so we wish her well with her adventures there. But that's a nice way to sign off with a win in the 200 butterfly.
It's a very nice swim. She had to come from behind after the first 50, but she didn't look worried at all. After 100 meters, she basically just did her job and swam right through the field all the way through to the finish. She didn't drop off at all, so she's got great endurance on her butterfly.
There was some nice hugs between City of Glasgow teammates there as they got out of the water. So
Swimmers are a really close-knit group, and they really sort of congratulate each other and respect the hard work that goes in. And so when somebody gets a result that their teammates know they've been working towards, they congratulate each other, which is really nice.
So here we have the 15-year-olds, Fiona Crawford again doing the honours for us, and in the 15-year-olds, Heidi Carr from Newcastle gets the bronze, and in the 16-year-old, it's Alice Cummings from the City of Glasgow. The 16-year-olds, the silver medalist in the 15-year-olds, Evie Mackey. Well, she looks quite cheerful after that interesting experience, I think, in the 200 fly.
I don't think that hurt her, too much. She's stoic.
Yeah, Ellie Kennedy getting the silver for the 16-year-old age group, and your gold medalists, the 15-year-olds, Abigail Crawford of City of Glasgow. Getting enthusiastic support there from her teammate, Ellie Kennedy. And in the 16-year-old, that masterclass from South Lanarkshire's Coco Croxford.
Great swim for Coco, 2:16, wonderful time, really good swim, nice stroke, a solid performance.
And your 17-18s, and Heidi Wren takes the bronze for City of Glasgow. So City of Glasgow getting good points here. Lots of them up there on the podium. And there is Orla McInnes, who takes the silver. And your gold and national champion, it's Stella McCarty. I don't know whether she's still puggled or is she a bit emotional about that one, I think.
Yeah, she seems very pleased with her win. That's a great performance. 200 fly is a tough event, and the City of Glasgow doesn't shy away from it. So they see an opportunity to score some points in 200 fly, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
They get their swimmers to regularly swim 200 fly, and they find their best swimmers in that event, and away you go. It's a great strategy.
Yep, so we finish off now with a mixed 11 to 13 medley relay. So this is going to be fun. The youngsters with a last gasp tonight. There'll be 2 heats of this. So watch out for some fun. Anything can happen really in a mixed medley relay.
Yeah, these swimmers, some of these swimmers have come only for the relay. So they're they're really looking forward to this. And the mixed medley, you've got two boys and 2 girls, and you can put the 2 boys in whichever stroke you want and the 2 girls in whatever stroke you want. So the coaches have got to really sit down and figure out, well, what's our fastest way to put this relay together, which makes for a really interesting race. And it's something that we got the banana team there and the frog team, and this is a really fun part of swimming is relays, because you're swimming for your team, and the swimmers love it, coaches love it. It's a really enjoyable experience swimming for your friends.
So just the 3 teams in this first heat. City of Glasgow B team go in lane 3, Carnegie in lane 4, and Dumfries in lane 5. So they're going to be all leading off with boys, looks like. Charlie McColgan, Conan Kilpatrick, and Struan Henry. So they've decided that that's their best fit at the beginning of this. In fact, just looking at it, I think they're all going boy, girl, boy, girl. So
Well, there's a couple names from Dumfries. I'm not sure if they're boys or girls. Yasin and Teya.
Yep, they
I would
are boy
imagine
and girl. Yep.
So boy, girl.
Yep.
On all three teams here. So the boys are doing the backstroke. Girls breast, boys fly, girls free. These races become really interesting when you got girls swimming against boys and boys swimming against girls, because boys often are faster than the girls, but not always. And you know, there's changes in the lead quite regularly.
So it's Dumfries have got the early advantage. Struan and Henry on the opening leg for them, and he is maybe a metre or so up on City of Glasgow B team. Charlie McColgan for City of Glasgow, and then in between them is Conan Kilpatrick for Carnegie. 36.85 halfway through the backstroke, so that's quite a big lead now, and a nice skill off the wall there from the Dumfries swimmer, Struan Henry, and that's opened up the gap quite a bit.
Yeah, he's got a nice fast tempo, and you can see that his legs are doing a fine job and keeping him horizontal. So, you know, he's not getting a lot of drag out of his body. So it's a really nice stroke. Let's check this takeover, see how it is. Takeovers are a big part of the relays.
Yep, you want to be quick, but not too quick. 1:14.94 is the split at the end of the backstroke, and look at that, 4.5 second lead. Of course, these things can change as we go from stroke to stroke, swimmer to swimmer. So it's Iona Kellett now for Dumfries, Emma Patterson for City of Glasgow B team, and Belle Adamson in second place for Carnegie. So as we said, 3 girls on the breaststroke. It's still very much Dumfries' race, with City of Glasgow now just edging into second place. And now, are they making ground? I think they might be.
It looks like they are. I think that the Dumfries breaststroker that isn't quite as fast as the other two teams.
So 43.9 against 41.5. So you're absolutely right.
Gained 2.5 seconds on them.
So this is a good swim from Emma Patterson for City of Glasgow to try and bring this back, but well, that lead is being maintained pretty well here by Iona Kellett. She's coming under a bit of pressure, and maybe a little bit more pressure now towards the end of her swim, but she's still got a sizable lead, 3-4 meters.
Yeah, it looks like Iona is doing a good job. She's doing the dive stroke, and but Glasgow is coming back on her. She's going to have to finish. We'll see how these takeovers are.
Yeah, so at the end, and quite often you see that the weaker swimmer really loses ground towards the end of their race. At 2:47.05, still up by 1.5 seconds. So the fly swimmers are Yasin Hattab for Dumfries, Callan Chesser for City of Glasgow B, and Fraser Oliver for Carnegie. Carnegie a long way back now, so it is really a two-way race. Yep, and still City of Glasgow closing the gap.
Yeah, Yasin is doing a good job though. He's holding on. Let's have a look at their splits. That's really the only, well, a long touch there. So 34.8 versus 33.6. So Glasgow came back by 1 second over Dumfries.
And Yasin got quite a good turn there though, so he got some of that lead back.
Then he looks like he saved something for the second 50. He's still got his feet coming out the water, so he's got really good balance and really good timing.
I guess it is a temptation in the relays for these youngsters just to go out crazy in the first 50.
Absolutely, you're so excited, you really want to do a great job, and you kind of go out a little bit too fast, you can pay the price.
But that was an excellent swim from Yasin there. So 4:02.07, he's got that lead up to 2.5 seconds. So that is now for Taya Laidlaw to defend against Sarah McGuffey. Sarah McGuffey's had a pretty good meet here, so she might put in a challenge here. Ava O'Neill going for Carnegie, but it's still very much Dumfries against City of Glasgow B. So it was 2.5 seconds. It's not going to be 2.5 seconds at the 350 turn. It's just a body length in it now. So this is tightening up. 2 seconds made up by City of Glasgow.
Yeah, and the Dumfries swimmer, she's only 12, so she's younger than the swimmer from Glasgow. Taya, she's got a lot on her shoulders, but it looks like Glasgow swimmer is powering faster on the second 50 of this 100 free.
Yep, so
Relay.
Sarah McGuffey getting the job done here for City of Glasgow in the end. The crowd are excited about this. There's a big Glasgow contingent here, and they take the win in 5:07.98. That is 10 seconds faster than they were entered on. So that sets the challenge for the second heat. A good effort from the Fries, 5:10.72 for them. So that's also faster than their time by quite a margin, and Carnegie in 5:18.52 in third. So 5:07.98 the time to beat for the second heat, and we think they'll manage that. There's 2 teams entered under the 5 minutes. There's your lineup. Step Rock in 0, Ren 96 in 1, East Lothian in 2, Geary in 3, Warrender in 4, City of Glasgow A team in 5, South Lanarkshire in 6, Glenrothes in 7, University of Aberdeen Performance in 8, and South Esher in lane 9. So here they come. Yeah, wave to the camera, thank you very much.
Nobody's dressed in banana for this heat, but there's quite a variation as to who's starting off with backstroke. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams starting off with girls, and 5 teams starting off with boys. So it's mixed, and then the breaststroke, and men. So we'll see a lot of changing of the lead in this race, most likely.
I know, of course, Great Britain are the Olympic champions in this event, aren't they? And they went with Kathleen Dawson on the backstroke, and then Anna Hopkin on the freestyle, with men in the breaststroke and the fly.
Yeah.
So I think PT and Guy, I think it was from memory.
That's right.
So is that the perfect way to do it if you've got really good, strong swimmers?
You have to look at the stats.
Yeah.
So the stats were basically you had to have PD on breaststroke.
Yeah.
There was no question about that.
And work around that.
And so you sort of work backwards from there.
So great start there in lane 7, and that is Brogan Smith. Well, we saw him earlier on in the breaststroke winning gold. In fact, they got his DQ in the backstroke, but he'll be looking to atone for that here. Glenrothes, I think from memory, got the bronze medal in the freestyle mixed relay, so they'll be hoping for another medal here. City of Glasgow in second, Warrender in third. City of Glasgow going with Samuel Ruff, Warrender with Matthew Turner. So that's your 1, 2, 3, and then a line of 3 swimmers tying for 4th. Lane 1 there is Wren with Jack Kiflahan, and lane 3 is Geary with Blair Tetlow. Lane 6 is South Lanarkshire with Emily Taylor. So that's the one girl on the first leg up near the front. Well, it looks like lane 5 now. City of Glasgow perhaps just edging it, but it's close between them and Glenrothes. No, Glenrothes still do have the lead, 1:13.59. They hand over to Sylvie McNichol for the breaststroke. City of Glasgow now have gone into the lead. Lula Milne just out of the pool from the breaststroke for her, and Warrender moving up now with Maddie Hall on the breaststroke. She's been strong on breaststroke individual events. Behind them then in lane 6 is South Lanarkshire, Zach Neeson for them on the breaststroke leg. So he is the Adam Peaty of South Lanarkshire. 151.13.
Good. He's got three teams to chase. All first, second, third are all with girls doing breaststroke, but girls can be very fast breaststroke, that's for sure.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a showdown between City of Glasgow and Warren de Bass here, and it's a slight advantage with City of Glasgow. Lula Milne there in the blue with the big white G, just edging it from Maddie Hall for Warrender, but there's very little between the two of them here as they come down towards the end of their race. So we've got a cracker to finish off with here. Hope you're enjoying it. The two teams coming in together, just Warrender, 2:34.43. They're now much faster than the first heat. And taking on Katie Aitchison for Warrender and Eva Gordon for City of Glasgow. So two girls on the fly for these front runners. Third place in lane 3 is Geary with Katie Ray on the butterfly. Behind them it is Glen Rothes with Amy Horsburgh and South Lanarkshire with Sam Perry. But it's a slight advantage with City of Glasgow now. Half a metre maybe in it. Three-quarters of a second faster on the first half of the fly. See whether Katie can bring that back in the second half. She's certainly hanging in there, giving the freestylers a chance. So as we come in here, Warrender are coming back at City of Glasgow. So we talked about keeping a strong second half in your pocket, and that is what Katie has done here. And it looks like she's got Warrender back into a narrow lead now. It's all going to be down to the freestylers. It's going to be Angus Donald for Warrender against Jen Basketer for City of Glasgow. Off they go. Angus Donald, the hearing impaired swimmer, was up there in the medals in Scottish schools in the multidisciplinary race, and he's got about half a metre's lead here over Jensen Basketer. But this one is going to go all the way. Geary looking set for the bronze medal, but well, it's Warrender and City of Glasgow, stroke for stroke. Still the advantage with Warrender at the final turn. Don't get the time for them though, so we don't really know what their pacing was, but it does look like they still got, well, or do they? They are side by side now. This could go either way. Half a length to go, and maybe City of Glasgow just edging into the lead now. What can Angus Donald do about that? It's looking like it's going to be City of Glasgow. They're up by nearly a metre now. Everyone's getting really excited in the stands as City of Glasgow bring it in. So Jensen just had that strength at the end. Look at them dancing for joy at the front of the pool. So the girls celebrating, the boys as well. A great win. Warrender second, Geary third. Coming in for fourth, South Lanarkshire. But the medals go Glasgow, Warrender and Geary. Good way to finish off, Gary.
What an exciting finish. It looked like Warrender was going to take that with 50 meters to go, but the Glasgow swimmer was at Jensen. He came back and really finished off that relay really well for their team. Really incredible. Jensen Basketer, what a swim for him. Angus Donald, he was looking good, but it was a close race.
So there's your full result there. So confirming City of Glasgow 4:50.65. All three of those teams comfortably faster than the first heat. So the medalists will be City of Glasgow, Warrender and Geary.
City of Glasgow B team was just about in the medals there. So City of Glasgow almost they got two podium finishes, but Gary's on the podium for third place. A very awesome marker for their team. A small team in a small town, swimming up with all the big clubs, and it's wonderful to see. Fantastic team.
Yeah, Geary, of course, based in Inverurie in Aberdeenshire, just north of where we are here in Aberdeen, and that's a good performance from them. So we just got that one last presentation to go before we hang up for day 3. Thoughts about tonight, Gary?
Well, some very good races. I enjoyed that very much. I thought that some of the really close races were exciting. It's nice to see so many swimmers doing so well, especially doubles. You know, swimmers getting up, racing, quickly warming down, coming back for another race, coming back for a relay. It's tough to do that, but these swimmers are up for it.
So our final presentation then is for that medley relay. That's really smart outfits there for the Geary team. I like their outfits very much. So they will take the bronze medals. The Geary team, Blair Tetlow, Millie Searle, Katie Ray and Adam Gibson.
A good swim for their team. 2 boys, 2 girls. They swam the same kind of order as Glasgow and Warrender, so I think that was the way to go tonight. Oh no, wait.
So Warrender then, the silver medalists, Matthew Turner, Maddie Hall, Katie Aitchison and Angus Donald. The girls gave it everything in that one, and it looked like they were going to get there, but they're down in that last 50. Not quite there.
And all those teams had the breast and fly swimmers were the girls, and the back and freestyle swimmers were the boys.
And here are your champions, City of Glasgow, Samuel Ruff, Lula Milne, Eva Gordon and Jensen Busketter. Oh, they are having fun. There's great hoots and cheers and waves going on in the gallery. Everyone's staying to the very end to enjoy that last relay. There's confirmation of your top 3. So that's us. Gary, thank you very much for being with us. It's been a joy to have your insights on this meet.
I enjoyed it very much.
Great, and that's us for day 3. You see, we'll be back just before 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for day 4. 2 days to go in the Scottish National Age Group Championships, but from Aberdeen Sports Village, from myself, Duncan McKinnell, and from Gary van der Merlen, we'll wish you a very good evening.